nigga. You lied, so
Hey,
fuck you.
but protecting your submissive sexual ego is about understanding that your emotions and your attachments are going to be connected to your submissive sexual ego depending on how secure you are. So if you're secure, then your dominant ego is not going to be attached to your attachments. If you're secure, your submissive ego is going to be attached to your attachments. So by protecting your submissive sexual ego and not putting too much value on the pleasure that you experience, it makes it easier for you to be logical about the experiences that you have. Now, if you're submissive and then you base your experiences off of logic, masculinity stifles submissiveness, right? But if you're dominant and then you are overly emotional about the pleasure that you experience, then it corrupts your dominance. So I agree with what you said. Now, I do think that if you've been with a woman for a long enough time, she done show she down for you, you give her the.
Lay that play, nigga. Lay that play, nigga.
Yeah, if you've been with a woman for long enough, you don't want to repress your submissiveness so much to the point where that gets pushed into your shadow, and then a random bitch that you fucking with is gonna give you some bomb ass pussy you wasn't expected, and now she all on your mind, and you start being inconsistent with the woman who actually invested in you. And that's why I say that
Hold on, Coach
if a
Bro.
woman
You
if a
doing too
woman
much right now. You doing too much right now.
if a woman fucking with you heavy, then you need to hype up that pussy in your mind.
You do it. You
No,
live right now. Hold on, brother. Hello, brother. King said we gonna go into you before we go even to Coach Broadie, even though this is the event. I gotta get more feed, right? More feed with you.
I'm here.
Okay, this is Morphe's show. She is controlling this shit. Call me the biggest patterer. I'm a better patterer than Paul.
You're not a better painter than
I'm
Timothy.
better than Paul, nigga.
Timothy is better than you.
God, Timothy ain't got shit on King Kong. They get him. I'm a better patterer than him. Look. This
man, I
is.
understand every word he said. But listen, hold up. Hey,
No,
man,
brother, no,
hold on.
stop. Now, shut the
Hold up.
fuck
I gotta
up.
do this.
This is Morphe's show. This ain't your show, nigga.
I
You
know it's not.
failed. You
It's
failed.
not your show either.
You failed in the previous event, nigga. You was the star of the show of the previous event. You failed, nigga. This is
I didn't
Morphe's
feel,
show. Okay, go ahead.
but
You
I have to
introduce
say
her.
this though.
I want to introduce her because I love this woman. But you go ahead. You go
Listen,
ahead.
bro. Nobody can understand ratchet knees. They gotta take a course like I did.
I agree with
Yeah.
everything that Ratchet said.
Yeah, thank you,
So
brother. Thank you,
because
brother. That's why you chime it. Fuck
because
that
you're a native of the Bible
nigga.
Belt like me, so you understand what he's saying. Because we got an uncle or a relative that speaks
That
like that.
nigga is not a part of the Bible, man. Cut that out. You trying to.
So
He is
anyway,
in Indiana. He is in Indiana. He is in.
yo, what's up, everybody? We back with another banger. That was a wild episode. We by default we had to crown King Broadie the winner.
It was not by default. He beat that nigga until submission. Cut
By
that out, bro.
default,
He ain't by default. No.
we have to crown
I was on Jaylen's side. It
champion,
wasn't by default,
the
bro.
champion, King Broadie,
Cut that out.
as the king of ideologies. The Broadieology is superior. I have to give it to Broadie. Broadie came in like a master Jedi. No ad hominems, no attacks. None of that shit mattered to Broadie. The only thing that mattered was to spread the message of 2023 dick
Dick ain't
ain't
free.
free.
Bro,
And he
he
came
died.
in there
No, that sound
and
like
kicked
some
everything out.
according to Jalen, that sound like some light squad nigga shit. Weirdo
Yeah.
shit. Okay,
And
yeah.
like a boss that I am, I gotta come between both of y'all. Be quiet, morphine. Do your job.
Okay, thank you, Henry. We weren't doing too
Hold on.
much.
And
Yeah, we
I
All
want
weren't
right,
doing
cool.
too much.
I'm
Yeah.
happy because I wasn't screaming over them noggles. All right,
Hey,
listen.
thank you. Thank you. I
and
apologize.
one thing I do want to clarify though is Dick ain't been free for me since 2019. I'm just saying
Dick
this.
was never free. All 20 fucking 23. I've been saying that shit since we came up with the slogan, Brody.
I feel like so many men will benefit from it, but I feel like we got men as men. I feel like so many men haven't acclimated themselves to understanding that in this day and age, women have to actually sexually desire you. It's not enough to be a provider and think that that's going to get you access to a woman's pussy anymore. She'll just take your money and run off with it. So I think
Absolutely,
that
absolutely.
Yeah,
20,
I
Hey, bro, I do not fall, bro. Do not fall for morphine trick right now. I'm just saying. I'm be that. I'm be that. I'm be
First of
that. I'm
all,
be
me and Brody
that.
gotta understanding and a meeting of the minds. And I think what most people don't understand about me and Brody is that on a scale from 1 to 100, we agree 85%.
I
But it's that 20% that that stands out and people see more than that 80%.
Yeah, to be completely honest with you, me and Morphine, we agree 80%, 80% of the time. I'd say that's true. And I'm not going to disagree with what she just said. We agree.
I agree with 20% of the time. 80% of the time she wrong. That's just me. I'm a soldier. I'm a male soldier.
Because
I give
I'm gonna be
morphine about a good
Morphine
35.
is more logical than most women that I've ever come across. And I think that men
Hell
get so
no.
caught up in wanting to be right and wanting to be in their ego that they will throw away their own argument point just to try to argue with her. It's like, hold up, you have one point of view, and then you'll start arguing with more. And then when you start arguing with morphine, you'll change your point of view because you just want to disagree with her because she owns a vagina. I'm like, man, y'all niggas is weak. That's how I be feeling about it, man.
Nah, bro, you just want to fuck everything up on the rug, brother. If they move, you want to fuck it.
No, no,
Coach
no,
Roddy, yes,
no.
no, the problem
I
is
don't
with me.
know, but first of all,
Yeah,
Brody got more dick discipline than a lot of niggas, and
he
he's
don't
younger
have
than,
no dick.
and
No,
he's the
he
youngest
don't.
guy
You
on the whole
capping right
panel.
now. You
So
capping
I'm
right
always,
now.
or I would say Brody is always the youngest man in the fucking room, especially the rooms that I be putting him in. So he be the
Yeah,
youngest
yeah,
man
he
in the
the
room
youngest. So you
with
trying to
the
be the
most
youngest?
clearest, with the most. Ratchet, stop talking over me. You know we about
Uh,
to fight.
go ahead. Yeah,
So
go ahead.
he has the most clearest head. Now, I would say, since this is a contentious media presentation, for the 20% that we don't agree with is where our egos come to play in. Because Brody has his own ego, and Morphine has her own fucking ego. So our
Oh
egos is going to
shit.
clash. Like it's going to be the clash of the fucking egos, which is very fucking entertaining, I must say. If you was there to watch our egos clash, that shit is entertaining. I say, but because the respect level when you're meeting two dominant people, that's why this is where me and Brody disagree with. See, Brody don't think two alphas could be with each other, and I don't think that two alphas can't be with each other. I mean, cannot be with each other. I don't think they could be with a beta the fuck at all. I think alphas attract alphas. Now, I do agree with
Oh
Brody
shit,
where
you a
I
liar
do
right
agree
there.
with
You
Brody
a
where
liar right
somebody
there. I'm on Brody's
the,
side. Go ahead.
you I do agree where it comes down to somebody is going to have to fucking submit out the fucking alphas. Like either the male alpha is going to have to submit, or the female alpha is going to have to submit, or the motherfuckers going to be playing all their relationship, which is fine as well too. But somebody is going to have to um, concede. You know.
You know, I say this though. I think that I respect the fact that for the most part, Morphine likes to view herself as a dominant, but if she was in my presence, she'd be submissive with me. And I think, regardless of what she says, she'd be okay with that. And I wouldn't stop her from being dominant with her other niggas. If you want to get money out the niggas, go ahead, get that money, baby. Go ahead, do what you got to do.
Hey, yo, hold up. I would like
At
to
least you would give me an
introduce.
outlet, baby, because
So
these niggas be
hold up.
trying to put a bitch in a cage.
I would like to introduce the one, the only. I'm gonna say a name right. Hold up. I'm gonna say it right. Introducing Kayla.
All right, all right. How y'all doing?
I said
We're
it right,
doing,
right?
How you
Yeah,
doing
doing,
yeah.
Kayla?
Hey, girl.
Yeah.
That's my boo thing right there.
Kayla. This is a
What's up?
celebration for a
it was
victory.
good, Aculus. I see him in the comments. We gotta give
Oh,
credit
yeah, yeah.
to comments.
Yeah, this is a celebration
Hey,
for
yo,
a
Eculus, you
victory.
want to come on?
A
Yeah,
Sorry, go
victory,
ahead, Corey.
a victory, a real good victory that Coach Broadie he's won over the dominating and devastating Boss Way. We was talking, giving him a little, a good little hip hip tally ho moment. You know what I'm saying? We're just congratulating him and everything. But thanks for coming on the show. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us the questions, and we got the answers. It's pretty much Morphine show, really. So. So,
Yeah.
but other than that, I do have a question for Morphine. Now, check this out, right? Jackie Chan said this to Jet Li, right? And I know this is going way off. He said, there cannot be two tigers on the mountain. One tiger has to lead, right? So, check this out. In a relationship, if you have two people, one is an alpha female, one is an alpha male, right? Of course, one has to submit. But what happens if the two of them don't want to submit, but they still want to be with each other and they want one to submit? But the arrogance and the tension will not allow them to yield. What will happen then?
Well, I'll say this. To give a clear answer to that, I'll say this right here, right? When I talk about the sexual polarity quadrant, right? Feminine submissive is an abundance mindset. That's not weak to be feminine submissive. That's strong, because you can be masculine submissive and be in an insecure state. You cannot be insecure and be feminine submissive over a consistent period of time. So I think we have to understand that there's two abundance mindsets and two scarcity mindsets. And it takes abundance to be able to question your previous thought processes and point of views and to get on somebody's program. That's not weak, that's strong. You have to be strong to be able to have like a cuckold or a cut queen fetish or a kink to where you're attracted to the fact that your partner is dealing with other people. That takes strength, right? That may me, but that takes strength. If you're a weak person, you can't handle that, right? It takes strength to be able to do things outside of what you thought before you met that person, and to not feel self-betrayal because of it. Those things take strength. So, like, to me, I'm never going to talk down on a feminist submissive woman or a feminist submissive man. I'm never going to talk down on that, because to take that stance is to understand that that's an abundance mindset. That means you have such an abundance, you don't feel insecure not being the one in control.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, I gotta chime in right quick.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So, and Brody, no doubt, that was an ill point, because I always let shorties know that the most powerful place they could be is nestled up in their femininity and their submissiveness. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, anytime, like, I don't even believe in alpha females or none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? For that reason, because I understand the power of their submissive and their femininity. You know what I mean? So anytime I encounter a shorty who's in her masculine, or what you would call masculine, for me, and even if she's in her dominance, for me, I see a woman who's guarded. I
Fact.
see a woman who's got so many, she's built up this wall so high that, what I mean, she has to be that. And even in some, I say maybe 70 to 80% of the time, when I talk to a shorty like that, there's some trauma behind it too. You know what I'm saying? So it's really being able to break down those walls and allowing that shorty to tap into that femininity and to tap into that submissiveness. You know what I'm saying? And then if there's trauma, understanding the trauma, because there's actually a sexual attraction to the trauma as well. That's where trauma bonding comes into play.
You know what?
But
Oh Lord.
I don't see
Y'all,
trauma.
I'm sorry, I have to say something right now, because I swear it's crazy, because I ain't never thought I would even be in a situation to even hear some type of stuff like this, especially in the point that I'm in my life right now. But I even have to be chimed in to be even have something to say. But I'm literally going through that for the first time in my life. And what he just said, and what the guy before it said, and I'm like, I had to put it on mute, not because my dude was listening too, and I was like, "Oh my god, did you hear me?" He's like, he said, "It's not me. I don't have a problem submitting." I'm like, "Say, look," because I can promise you, I've been through some shit. Like, I've been through some shit, and I just feel like, oh yeah, I'm down with it. It looks good. All that shit that they be doing too with white girls and stuff, and porn and stuff like that. They look good. It look like it'd be fun, but as soon as they do it, it's like, oh wait, hold the fuck up. I'm the lion in this situation. Like, like wait. I feel like how you do with it, you grab a dude ass. You know what I mean? And I didn't even know I was gonna get offended like that. And that's some real honest shit. Like,
You know, on some real stuff, I'm gonna say this right here too, right? And I'm big on Jungian psychology, right? So Carl Jung perspective was this: that when it comes to gay men, that most of them are going to be men who are gay because of their trauma.
All men are gay.
And
That's what that was.
some are going to be gay because that's how they are. That's how they're built. But the overwhelming majority of women who take a lesbian or a bisexual lifestyle where they cling to women are women who are just that way because they haven't come across a man who is both masculine and dominant. And that's my perspective on it. And when I look at those type of situations, I think it's a very powerful thing. And I agree with what King Zay said. You know, there are certain situations that come across where a woman has built up her masculine identity so strong, so high, that most men that she comes across aren't going to be masculine enough to overcome her masculinity for her to feel safe to be feminine.
Like, check this out, Brody. Okay, like with me personally, right? Every girl I ever liked, bisexual. You are correct with that. You know, they were all bisexual. And when they came across a man that did not fold, right, they submitted. I mean, no matter how hard it took, no matter how long it's been, they submitted. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they reach that point in time. You are correct about that, right? Because one thing I notice about women who are lesbian and bisexual, when they see a man who is confident, they will challenge that man. You see what I'm saying? They will challenge him to see what does he have to say, how would he stand. It's like they would test him. You know what I'm saying? And if that man can overcome those tests, jump over the fire, walk through the fire, not be burned, then they submit, then they get feminine, I believe they say it's keeping your masculine frame at the end of the day. It's keeping your ability, it's keeping your power, it's keeping who you are and your valor and your chivalry as a man, especially in the presence of a woman. You know what I'm saying? I believe a man has to be as strong as stone and as flexible and forceful as water when it comes down to dealing with women, because women, they look for security, which is strength, and which a lot of men do not have at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's an art that has not been practiced, but it can be learned.
Craig,
And I gotta add to that.
hold on,
I
hold
gotta
on.
add to that because I don't want people to think that that's how a man should be when it comes to women. I believe that a man needs to be like that for himself.
Facts.
Because you can't, again, I said it before, you can't give what you don't have. So if you're not that, how can you give that? And if you're only doing it for the sake of a woman, it's only a matter of time before that woman breaks you down and the mask falls off.
But
So
check
you
That
need to
this.
sounds
be like that for
crazy.
yourself
Hold on,
first.
hold on, hold
You know
on,
what I'm
hold on,
saying?
hold on, hold
So
on.
that you can
This,
stand on
this
your
is a
square. Because if
movie
you ain't got a
show.
square to stand on, it'll be easy for you to be moved. And you got to be immovable in your position as a man, or even the women. You got to be in a position where you're solid in who you are. And that's why I always encourage a woman to
Hey,
open
I'm
up to
moldable, not
herself
movable.
instead of you're moldable, but still you're still who you are. You see
Yeah,
what
but
I'm saying?
you gonna have to give me
Hold
a
on,
lot,
hold
a
on.
lot, a lot, a lot.
I'm at
But
Hey,
home.
hold on,
It's all about
ladies.
taking the mask off. It's all about taking the
Gentlemen and
mask off.
ladies, let me reprogram this, right? Because when I was listening, Craig, you had your opportunity on the first show, Craig. This is more theme. This is
oh,
this is a lady show right now.
my
This
bad,
is
my
a lady
bad,
show.
my
Yeah,
bad, my
this is a
bad.
lady show. I've been listening to you.
No
You
doubt.
did a whole lot of filibustering, and I want Morphe
All
and
right, get to the
Mika.
point.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
want Mika
Morphe, what
Wash
you
to
got?
run this shit. I
Can
am
we make it
pro women.
ratchet?
Yeah, I'm a
More
pro women right now. Whatever they want to get at these old faking ass niggas like Amari right now, and Coach Broadie, they faking right now.
hey,
This
hey,
other brother
All
right
right,
now,
all
they
right.
faking right now.
morphine doesn't
Yeah,
And
exist
make it
here is
ratchet.
faking too.
morphine.
Here is faking too. Here is faking too. I say all y'all niggas faking right now.
Oh
Hey, when
shit.
morphine is ready to speak, she will speak, and she's not waiting for nobody's approval. I'll
Wait a
say that.
minute.
Yeah,
Make
nah,
it.
this is her show.
So
I
She
stop
just
she
got
paying.
a quick
control this
question.
shit.
I just
Stop
got a
paying.
quick question, you guys, because I just seen the link in the chat. Can somebody just update me on what's the topic so I know
Yeah,
what I'm
how did
doing?
we get from body counts to this? I missed it.
What's the
Oh, let me
topic?
tell the story. Hold up. Shut up, Ratchet. 'Cause I know you're going to say something
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Craig
You
was
better do
talking,
it right. If
and
you don't do it
Rocket and
right,
Brad
yeah, yeah.
was having a banter. So we don't
Nah,
really.
nah, this is a reset. This is a reset. This ain't
Yeah,
about the body count. This is a reset.
So
it's
This is
gonna
the
check
be a
this
after
out.
show.
reset.
Let me explain
It
it
Yeah.
again,
started
right?
with it started with me saying I don't believe in bomb pussy. I never had it before.
Oh, you ain't never met me, but okay.
Damn.
Sounds like a script.
Damn.
I think that's a script that all shorties have.
Yeah,
Huh?
all of them have it. Every single woman thinks that
Well, if
pussy is golden.
They say
and
that they all
listen,
say the same thing,
I've
but I've
never
never
listen,
met
met
when
a
it.
you
woman who
get
didn't think her pussy was the best thing
when
and
you
walking off.
Because there's
wait,
every
when
dude
you
gonna
have
lie and say what
stalkers,
they want to say.
when you have stalkers, then you know what I'm
I mean,
saying.
yeah.
The
Most women
proof
I
is
fuck
in the
had
Yeah,
stalkers.
pudding.
they're
Most
all
women I fuck had
stalkers.
stalkers. Most women I
They're
fuck
all
had.
stalkers. But there's a reason why I say what I say. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's
I'm
So
ever
you
not
tell
gonna
asked me
all
that
say.
shit.
Because
niggas
you
I'm not
not.
still
gonna
looking.
say
That's
that.
why.
As Morphine talking, I'm gonna say when men start acting stupid, that's how you know you got bomb pussy. It's
Right.
not when they
Let me
become
tell you.
super clingy.
Correction.
It's not because not every
When
man is
guys
gonna
start
be
acting,
clingy,
when
but
guys
dudes
act stupid.
in general, like y'all men in general, something y'all can say that is similar. That y'all should start
You
acting
want to
mad
say something?
irrational.
I know
Like
it's
I'll be like, yo, what?
Irrational. I agree.
I'm
What
gonna
the
say
100%.
this.
fuck?
I got a
I'm not gonna
story.
No, but
down
there's a
talk.
reason
I'm
why I
gonna
My
say
say
what
this
I
right
say
here.
though.
One
What?
one thing I'm
my
gonna
baby
say.
daddy, right? My baby daddy. First night we ever spent together. The next night, this nigga, he a big nigga. He like what? He was like 6'2", almost 250. This nigga got on some rollerblades, got up in the early in the wee hours just to catch me before I go to work, rolling down the street in the rollerblades singing was it sexual healing because he was so happy that we spent that one night together.
Now I'm gonna say this right here too, and this is one thing I'm
I
gonna say. It's
feel.
about
You know
dom
what I'm
sub
saying?
dynamics, right? One thing to understand, and this is something I said in the previous video. It's about edging, teasing, pleasure denial, and orgasm control, and forced
Wait,
orgasm, right?
what?
Now I'm a
Wait, but run that back to me one more time.
edging, teasing, pleasure denial, orgasm control, and forced
Is that a
orgasm.
game? It pleasing to now.
They are
Pleasing
a
to
game. They are a
no, no,
game.
no.
Say this.
I'm trying to outline this. Is what is it? Edging,
Ed-
pleasing. What? Edging, teasing.
Orgasm,
What?
edging, teasing, orgasm control, pleasure
Or
denial,
see, I told
forced
you
orgasms.
orgasm control.
Now, what I'm
No.
talking about is the principles of dom sub dynamics when it comes to sex, right? Now, what I'll say is this right here, right? Many women feel like, and I'm not saying you don't, and I'll say that for a man who's naturally submissive, that's going to definitely work on him, right? But what I'm saying is that for many women, they feel like their pussy is golden. It's the best thing walking on two legs because a man waited for 3 weeks and he was fucking that woman in his mind for the whole 3 weeks. So when he came in 2 minutes, if he really was fucking you for 3 weeks and 2 minutes before he busted his nut, he really lasted a longer time than he thought he did. And when that hits him on that level, he's investing. See, the higher your investment, the greater pleasure you experience. That's why dick ain't free, right? So it's one of those things that occurs where the more you invest, the more time you wait after you decided that you desire it, the more the longer of a period of time you spend close to that end point before you get there, the more you're denied.
You talking
Denied.
about like the 10 seconds that
This too
last once they
goddamn
finally get it?
technical for me. I don't get it. I just go with the passion and I go with the
So
flow.
I'll say this: with your baby daddy, how
He has
long
a baby daddy.
after he approached you did he have to wait before he fucked you?
Oh shit! Almost. It was a long time.
That's
Which
what it was. It wasn't your pussy. It was
There
how
it
long you
is.
waited. That's
no
what I
no
was
no
trying to tell you.
no. Well, that ain't no. It's them Kegel
No,
muscles,
that's what it
baby. I
was. It
don't
was
know
how
what you're
long he
It was
talking
waited. It
about.
wasn't.
the
It wasn't your
It's
pussy. It
that
was
anticipation.
how long he
Kegel,
waited.
baby.
It
She
wasn't how
said
long
she
No,
he
got
waited.
that
Was
grip. That grip was
that
good. That's
grip,
what she's
it
baby.
saying.
wasn't
That's
how
exactly
Yo,
what
good
he
it
she's
don't
was.
know
saying.
It
nothing
was how
about
long
that
he
shit.
waited.
He don't know nothing about that. See,
Yeah,
men
yeah.
think they know everything, but women got game. We got nigga. That's
Yeah,
why
that's the game.
the fucking finger roll is popping with
Yeah,
holes
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
everything. We
yeah.
know what we do with our stuff.
Yeah, I
Don't
know
say
about all the grip tricks. I
oh,
know.
oh, it was just the time. No, it wasn't just the time because I know people that waited for sex for years and got it and said, oh, that shit was trash. And then there's people that waited for sex and got it and they was like, oh, that shit was the bomb. It ain't about that. It is
Mhm.
about a mental fuck first. Yes, it is a
Yeah.
mental fuck first. Always. What does they call that? A sapiosexual? That's
Yeah,
is
that's a
that what it is?
sapiosexual.
That's what I am. I will mentally fuck you first, and then once we get there, we get there.
Ah, hell
But
no.
what I'm
Bottom
saying,
So you
line.
mentally wait, hold on, wait. I gotta listen. You
that
were
was my
dealing
whole
with a
point.
tender dick.
Yeah.
That's a tender dick.
That
Tender
Okay, well
ain't
dick.
then
no
they got a
tender dick.
lot of tender
That's
dicks
a
in the
man.
There's
world.
a lot of dudes that are tender
It's
dicks.
most
That's
probably.
not
Most
tender
probably.
dick.
That's
That
a
is
Most
not
probably.
a
tender
tender
dick.
dick. That
That's a
is not the
tender dick.
definition of tender dick.
That's
Sorry.
a no. Listen, tender dicks
are the most craziest, emotionally warped niggas when they get some pussy.
Right.
They are the
But
most
mental sex is not emotion. Does not mean that you're emotionally warped.
I'm gonna tell you why they're emotionally warped, right? They are
That's two
because
I
different
like
like,
mind
things.
fucking. I like
check
mind
this
fucking.
out. Check this out. A dude
Nothing
that's
wrong
like
with a
that,
mind
right?
fuck. You gotta psychologically fuck someone's mind before you could get to them
Definitely.
mentally. That's
You
how
do.
you.
That's
Both
true.
That's how
people
you
can't
move.
do
Hold
it
on,
at the
hold
same
on,
That
time.
brings
hold
me back.
on,
That brings me
hold
Both
back to
on.
people
what
couldn't
you
do it
said
at the same
before.
time.
Ratchet, you are.
About
Don't
the
scream,
two
Ratchet.
alphas. The two
Both
alphas
people
can't
can't
mind
do it
fuck
at the
each other.
same time. Somebody has to take that primary role,
Hold
and
on.
whoever takes the primary role, guess what? If you take the primary role as a mind fucking, you're not gonna get as much pleasure
Hold
out of
on,
it.
hold on. When it got to be, let me tell you what it got to be. We always try to shy women into doing things we want them to do. Like that's our biggest problem. We try to
Off
shy
BBW.
them. Yeah, we
Like
try
the
to
little pig
shy them and
like the little
moral philosophy them into doing what we do. We don't really stand up. Like we don't really like beat niggas ass to put it down. Like bitch, you supposed to be me. We really moral philosophy is shying these women into being with us. That's all I'm
Nah, I don't
saying.
agree with that. Nope.
I mean, I would say
Hey,
that's weak,
Yeah,
man.
both guys do that. That's
yeah,
what they
it
all
is.
they try to do. That's their talking points.
Yeah, that is weak. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I mean, like with me personally, right? I don't have to do that. I once tried to do that, but that was never my strong suit. But one thing that did work for me, just like how some of the ladies said, when you are seductive with a woman and she think about fucking you, you know what I'm saying? Because she gotta think about fucking you before she even give it up to you. You know what I'm saying? She gotta imagine herself doing that shit. You know, whether it's instantaneously or it take a while. But
He said
the point
insane.
is, I have to say this, right? When you're a bit smoother and you're in that woman's mind or whatever, she gonna give it up. You don't gotta be all ridiculous with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
It depends
sometimes
on
a
the
woman.
female.
You
The
said
one
what?
Mhm.
the woman don't like is if you play on her intelligence. When you
Yeah.
try to say some old stupid ass stuff to get some vagina, then we got a problem with that. And you can talk
Yeah,
yourself
we can
out
want to
of
fuck
it.
you all
Be-
day and change it up as soon as you say
Because
something stupid.
on some real shit, like if we even give you the time of day, in our mind, you fuckable already. So
Right.
that's already done. But we don't
Facts.
say those things. You're hearing it now. But 9 times out of 10, if we give you any type of time of day, like you know what I'm saying, then you already there. But you could always talk yourself out of it.
Yeah.
Hey, that's why I say that the
And I
sexual
believe
polarity
that.
quadrant is not a gendered thing, right? It's not gendered, right? It's not about gender, but it's about dominance and it's about masculinity. That's who takes the leadership position.
Okay, I got a
And one
question.
thing, and one thing I always say is this right here, right? Like, if you want to take that position of being dominant, you're sacrificing pleasure. If you want to take that position of being masculine, you're sacrificing pleasure. Now, one thing I typically understand is this, right?
Can
For
you
most
alternate?
women, the overwhelming majority, if they take that masculine dominant position, right? Now, check this out. If a woman takes that position of being the primary giver of pleasure, most of them who do that, they're not getting the orgasm,
That's
not from the
not
dick.
true. That is
I
so
said for
not
most. I said
fucking
for most.
true. That is
I
not
got
true.
statistics for this. I got
I'm
statistics
telling
for it.
you from my own experience that is not true.
I
That
probably
is
fuck more women
so
than you
not
have.
fucking true.
So
That is
okay.
not
So wait.
true.
So wait.
I
Wait. So
love like I take pleasure in giving pleasure.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
That's
more
called
like that
being
too. Like,
dominant. That
That's
can
taking
you
pleasure
dominant.
from
alternate?
That's
giving
a
pleasure
How
dominant
is
does it
trait.
called
work?
being
But
No, you
dominant.
I
don't.
still get pleasure from it and I still orgasm from it.
so wait.
But
So
it's
hold
not as
up.
much pleasure if you were submissive.
It's a lot. That is like my man. That's like my man. Like I love it. Like I am. Even the Most High said our desire will be towards our husbands. Like we
Yeah,
desire
I've been
to
with a dude
give
for
If
them
you
1 year and I
think,
pleasure.
haven't
if
That
watched
is
you
no
the
other
think,
porn
natural
but him.
woman's place. We give. We are givers. We
Yeah,
are
she
Yeah, by
nurturers
passionate.
nature.
She
if
by
you think that you
nature.
get more pleasure out of being dominant on a physical level, that means
It's
you've never
not
had the
being
experience of being
dominant.
submissive.
wait. Hey,
It's not
hold
being
up. But hold
dominant
up. But
if
hold
you
up, right
giving
quick.
pleasure.
But hold up, right quick. Hold up. Hey, Kyla, you had a question, right?
Yeah, I'm saying how can you alternate it? Because I've been with a dude for a year, and I'm gonna tell you now, it is the most outrageous, the most craziest thing that I've ever dealt with. But I'm all into my dude, no matter who I'm with. But in this factor, I'm wondering, like, not necessarily with him, but this conversation, the like, how would if you were to alternate, you're just saying dom and sub, one's got to be dom, one's got to be sub.
Yeah,
Like,
he into that
you got to
SML
alternate. You
shit.
got to alternate,
SML.
right?
I
Nah.
don't think that
You
men
don't
do
have
it
Actually,
to
no,
though.
that's
alternate.
not how you
No,
start
you
is how
do
you
not have to
finish. You know what I'm
alternate.
saying?
No,
Now,
that's not
if you're
true.
alternating, If you're alternating, you're talking about a switch.
We
Now
would
you're
get if we
talking
were
about
Yeah, like
submissive.
fuck
But
games.
for a
You're
woman,
talking
for
about tops and bottoms. You're not talking about doms and subs.
okay.
Because
so
a dom and a sub is an identity. You know what I mean? It's who
If
you
we
are.
both make money and we both
You know what I'm
we
saying?
both bosses
Not
and we
dom and
both
sub has nothing to do with
Uh,
your money.
he's talking about
I'm
nothing to
talking
do with
sex.
the
about
money.
in real life and in this. Like if
He's
you
talking
could
about
both do
S
both.
and
It has
M.
nothing to do with money though.
He's
That's
talking
a
I
about
know,
S.
but I'm
responsibility.
just
That's what you do. To, you know what I'm saying?
no, I'm talking about sexually and in that in all aspects of life. We both alphas, but if we both alternate, like in sex, one will do this one. Will one get unhappy from just being
In
that way?
sex, in
No, because
sex is possible. In sex is possible for
in
sure. You know
possible
what I'm
in
saying?
sex, you gotta change positions.
Change position
You
exactly.
can do that,
No,
but that's topping from the bottom.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
Well,
let
how
you
is
me
that?
say
Okay,
gotta
what's
this.
your
You know what I'm
definition of
saying?
topping in the bottom
I
versus
will say this. We
dominant
all,
sub?
That's topping
if
from
you're
the
if you're
bottom.
if you're outside of, let's say, like the BDSM realm, if you're outside of that, we all submit and dominate in
And
multiple different aspects of our lives.
right.
No
Brother, I
doubt.
know you're
That's
trying
true.
to say like you dominate in everything. I doubt it. If it's something she better at, you fall back and you let her do her.
Yeah, because
Like
that
you're
might
not
not be.
please,
dominating.
girl.
You're not dominating something she's good at, bro. Because then you're making your woman, the woman that you love, the woman that's your heart, a competition is something you don't even have to fucking compete in. Why are you competing in
Hold
that?
up.
Exactly.
Hold up.
Let
Hold up.
I'm
Let me break
second that
something
motion.
down.
Right,
Let me
Come on
break
right.
now,
something
I
like
down.
it
Let
second
me
don't
that
even
break
make
something
motion.
down.
sense.
Let me break something down right quick because I started off and I made a statement, and I'm gonna get to the Dom sub thing.
Yeah.
I came in and I made a statement, and I said I never had bomb pussy. Everybody else came in and made statements, and I said nobody asked me a question. Nobody asked why did you make the statement. Nobody is looking to gain understanding. So I said,
I
ask me
did.
why I said what I said so you can have a better understanding and then let the conversation continue because the reason why I said what I said about not ever having bomb pussy from my perspective is because in every situation, I'm the one doing all the work. Most like unless she's on top,
You've
I'm the
been
one doing all the
fucking
work.
dead
I'm the one
fish.
thrusting. I'm the one doing all of that. I'm the one hitting the angles. I'm doing all of that. All she's doing is
You've been having lazy
reacting
pussy.
and responding to what I'm doing. That's number one. Number
Oh,
two, if I'm having sex with a shorty, and I'll just use a low number. Let's say she has 3 orgasms, and I only busting up once. She owes me two.
no, she don't.
Oh, the fuck she
You
do?
out your
Yo,
raggedy ass
if a
mind.
no,
shorty
yeah, no, no.
Man, look.
Number one, what
Right.
are
He
you
yo
right.
doing that?
He right.
First of all,
yo,
excuse me, can I get the
if it's
mic to
supposed to
That's
one?
what
be
you.
Hey,
if it's
even
supposed to be nut for nut,
I
it
like
go
that
nut
shit.
for nut.
I
I
got
That's
my
how
like
you
one.
be in
this.
a
Look,
relationship,
I
right?
I
got my
like
one.
this.
I got my
Orgasm
one
right.
finger
for
raised
He
like I'm in
was. He
church.
was. He
I
made that
got my
comment.
orgasm
He
for
Right.
was.
But
orgasm.
check this out. Check this
Orgasm
out.
for
Look, hold on,
orgasm.
hold on, hold
She
on.
owes me. She
Y'all
owes
ladies
me.
don't get it. Y'all
She
ladies
Nobody,
don't
don't get
owe
it.
you nothing.
nothing,
Orgasm.
No,
nothing,
no,
I'm
no,
just
no,
Nothing.
That's
no,
saying.
why
no.
nobody's
I'm just
giving you
saying.
You
If
giving
it's
all
gotta
you
get
got. You
yours.
ain't getting
I gotta get
Craig,
mine.
you gotta let them get it
you
out
have,
first, Greg,
All
You
before
right,
you
gotta
let
get
get
them
to.
get it
yours.
out.
I gotta get mine. If I get mine before you, I'm always fine. I
but
don't
what
give
if
a
you
fuck.
keep
I'm
getting
always gonna
yours?
get
What if you
mine.
keep getting yours and I don't even know?
It don't fucking matter.
You
Oh
owe me.
hell no,
Then that
no.
means
Hey, hey,
Right?
there's no way
hey.
your pussy is bomb to me is all I'm saying. There's no way your pussy is bomb to me is all I'm saying.
Hey, listen.
And
Even
then
if the
here's
woman is
another
on
thing, and
top,
I'm gonna get into
I'm
the
still in the
Dom
dominant
sub
position.
thing. The Dom sub thing has nothing to do with money and what you do for a living. A Dom is somebody who control is given to. In other words, the Dom is the ultimate decision maker. The sub is saying, hey, I'm going to allow you to make the decisions in this area of my life. A sub might even say, I want you to make all the decisions in my life. I even, I have some where they even let me, they want me to pick out their clothes, what time to go to sleep, what foods to eat, all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? So
They
that's
want you
what
to
the
be your
Dom
daddy.
sub is about. But when you
Hold on,
talking
hold
about
on.
tops,
Is
when
this
you
Hold on,
for the
talking
wait,
about
wait,
kings?
wait,
tops and
wait. Is he
bottoms,
saying?
Hold
He said
on,
what?
hold on.
I'm
Hey,
saying when
hey,
you look at Dom
and
They
let me
sub,
sub
make a
for a
statement
you're
right
living.
looking at
quick.
a
They
Dom
doing
and
Let
a
me
that.
sub
make, let me
dynamic.
make a statement right quick. KZ, this you, brother?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
what's good,
it.
fam?
You
What's
got to
good
pay
with you? What's that,
Hey,
attention.
Craigie?
shout out to KZ. He laid it down on these women. He beat them up. He beat up all the women
I
right
did,
now.
and
Yeah, he
because
beat them all up
he
right
put his
now. You
vagina to
go
me. He put his
ahead, go
vagina
ahead.
to me.
Yeah,
No, he's
go
Yeah,
ahead.
not.
but I'm
He's
It's
saying
just
not.
Dom Sub
vagina. It's
dynamic.
just
I'll
vagina.
rewind
Ratchet,
Go
it.
shut up,
I'll
ahead.
Ratchet.
rewind
Get
it.
on somebody. Somebody
Dom
mute Ratchet.
Dom and Sub
And
Be a
dynamic
ratchet. You
is
be
a
a real ratchet
Dom.
right
I'm finna sit back. I'm finna go back in the
A
background
Dom
again, but I had to make that
is
comment.
go
someone.
get in the corner,
A
ratchet, because you need
Yeah,
to
I'm
Dom
go
in the
is
back in
corner.
there.
somebody.
Let me put the dart hats on. Dust
You
hat
know what I'm
on.
saying?
Let me
Press
put
the
the
mic.
dust
Press
hat
the
on
mic.
right quick.
Press the mic button. So the Dom is someone who control is given to. And that's why Brody was saying it doesn't matter about gender. If you're a shorty and your man is giving you the control, he's giving you the wheels to make all the decisions. Yo, baby, what do you want to do this, baby? Yo, baby, where you want to go? You want to go over here, baby? Yo, baby, what you? That's him giving the control to you. He's the sub in that dynamic. There's no switch in that. But if you're talking about, and then a sub is the one who wants to give the control. You know what I'm saying?
And I
In
want to say
any
throw
area
something
of the
real quick
life.
after you're done.
You know what I'm saying? But when you're talking about
Um,
tops and bottoms, when you're talking about tops
no,
and
but see,
bottoms,
that's what it,
you're talking about sexual dynamics. You're talking about, okay,
no, because
we're gonna
no,
do
because you
this
can be a top of,
position, we're gonna do that position, we're gonna do this, you know what I'm saying?
you
That's
don't talk
tops and
about it, you do
bottoms.
it.
Yeah, that's
You
too
know what I'm saying?
technical. That's too
No,
Yeah,
no,
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 technical.
you
I'm
I'm
just
just
talking
saying.
saying
all
that's
of
Listen, the
that, and
technical,
that's
that's
the
just
Ain't
what it
technical
nobody
is.
trying to
That's
part.
be.
what you
Oh,
guys are. That's what you guys are engaging in. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna
If
tell
you
you this
want to
right.
put terms to
engaging.
it, that's what you guys are engaging in. But I just don't want you guys to cross the terminologies together because, and the reason why
You
I'm
don't know when
giving
to
you
put
guys
top
the
and bottom in this.
definitions is
yeah.
so that you can understand when you guys are making your points. So we're not convoluting, we're not crossing what terms are. I
I'm
want a clear
I
understanding
just
of what a
asked,
I'm
dom
did
is,
very
what
And
a
listen,
sub
clear.
is,
alternate in what
what
a
a
but I
dom
top
want
is,
is?
and
One
what
at
a
a
bottom
time. One
is.
at a
and
time.
You know what I'm
Who wants?
saying?
Let's
Who
be
wants?
clear, right? I'm
and I
very
want to
clear.
go next. So whoever's talking, it's time for Brody to go, right?
And I do
Now,
believe
All right,
sex
after
happens when you
Brody.
meet.
After Brody, I want to go to Meek. Is that Meek?
Yeah.
now check this out, right?
Yeah, I want to go to Meek.
When
Let's go to
when
Meek.
you are
Well,
in the
wait, Brody. I'm gonna go to Meek because there was a two-way conversation, and then I'm gonna go right back to you. Okay.
oh,
All
hold
right,
up, I
Meek.
was already talking. Ain't nobody about. Oh, this is your show, so
Let
you can do
Brody
what you want
talk.
to do.
Let Brody talk.
All
Yeah.
right.
Fuck.
Well, Meek. Meek Gill. Go ahead, Brody. Meek, you after Brody. There you go.
So what I'm basically saying is this right here, right? When you take the dominant position, the primary pleasure that you're receiving is the validation of being in control. Now that can yield towards a certain level of pleasure, but that's not the peak of pleasure. The peak of pleasure is always going to be the feminine submissive. So for me, when I look at the situation, I say I accept that I'm going to receive less pleasure being in a dominant position. Now I may receive ego pleasure, and that ego pleasure may increase my sexual pleasure, but I also understand that that's not the peak of sexual pleasure. When you're submissive, you have to understand that when you take control from a masculine, logical, making decision standpoint, you're sacrificing pleasure in order to gain that control. So when you say that, okay, cool, yeah, I get pleasure from giving pleasure, that's cool, but that's a dominant perspective, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to accept that that's what it is. That means you're dealing with somebody who's submissive if that's your mentality. And if you're dealing with somebody who's submissive and your core is to be submissive yourself, then you're limiting yourself from the pleasure that you can experience. When you're dominant, you get less pleasure. When you're masculine, you get less pleasure. When you're feminine, you get more pleasure. When you're submissive, you get more pleasure. That's just how it works. So when we're talking about these things like top and bottom and all this other stuff, these things they're different, right? And I'll say this: even if a woman's on top, she still get more pleasure than me. Like times where I've given women the most orgasms, I didn't give women like 30 plus orgasms while she's on top, and I'm not doing anything but angling my body and giving her instructions. And these are things that occur within these dom sub dynamics. It don't even matter who on top and who on bottom.
Facts. Facts.
I disagree. But I just got a question. How old are you too? That's talking about this dom and submissive stuff. Just real quick before I say what I want to say. How old are you, Brody? And what's the other guy name?
I am 27 years old and I'm
Oh,
old enough to rock
that
the
makes
fuck
sense.
out your world.
That makes sense. How old are you? The other guy? I don't know. I don't see your name on the screen.
My name, who me?
Yeah.
That's King Zay. And first, before I answer that, I gotta say my age
No.
isn't who I am, but I'm 40.
Okay, he's 40. I get it now. It makes a lot of sense. Y'all being
We're
real.
not gonna do that dismissive shit.
Nah.
From
The
what you
age ain't
saying, we
got
gonna know
nothing to
what you
do with
talk
that.
about like you think you do.
Age has nothing to
So
do with wisdom.
Yeah, I
no.
get it now.
Age or experience has nothing to do with wisdom
It has a age.
and understanding.
age combined with experience has everything to do with wisdom.
What you
Not
saying?
at all.
But
Oh,
wait
Wisdom
a
is a
minute. Let
no.
me
principle thing.
finish. Let me
Wisdom
finish.
is a principle
Oh
thing.
gosh, I can't talk.
Now you can
Based on
talk. Go ahead.
principles.
Hold on. Let
Right.
let her rock, and then I got a twister for her that she ain't gonna be able to
The
say.
reason why I asked how old you are and the reason why I say it makes sense because you guys are so technical about sex. And it's like, oh, you got to do this and you got to do that. And So, me, I'm just go with the flow. If the chemistry is there and the passion is there, we gonna make it do what it do. Now, when it comes to Diamond Submissive, I have a story, like a quick, like little thing. I would like the guy I was with for 9 years. We do 69s. We love 69. It's pleasurable for both of us. There's no dom, there's no submissive, and we just do it. It's good. It's good all the time. That's like our thing. So I'm trying to wrap my mind around why y'all not getting pleasure and why uh you guys are dealing like the other guy. I can't remember your name anymore. I remember Brody's name, but you said that you don't get any pleasure and they're not moving back. Why you keep messing with dead fish? Like what
I
woman?
never said I don't receive pleasure. Never did
You
that even come
said
out my
when you're
mouth.
on top, you're not getting no pleasure.
I didn't say that. That's what you heard.
Okay,
I said I said I never had bomb pussy. That was the only statement I made.
and then you explain why
And
you
then
did.
I explained why
Uh-huh.
I don't claim to ever have bomb pussy
And
because every
you said
pussy
when
to
you're
me is the same. Every pussy
you
to me is the same. Every pussy has a G spot. Every pussy has an A spot. Every pussy has an O spot. Every pussy has a cervix. It's
Praise
all the
God.
same to me. Every pussy has a
every pussy is
clitoris.
not the same, sir.
It
I'm
is the
sorry.
same.
No,
Now,
They're
it's
more
not.
alike than they're
the
different.
only
No,
way
it's
it's
not.
different is in
Just like every
character.
dick is not the
The
same.
labia might be a little longer than most. Some might have a little bit more grip than most. But I'm talking about the physiology of a pussy. When you look at the biology of a
So
pussy
it's
and what
not the
makes up a
same,
vagina,
sir.
it's the
Each
same. You
pussy
Look,
guys
is
have
look,
the
an
look,
same
look.
individual
parts.
pussy.
For a
Number one.
man,
You guys
for a
have the
man,
same
it's going to
parts.
be different than a
It's,
woman. A woman, here's one thing I know about women, because I'm just not sexist. No woman on this god green earth gonna tell y'all men that her pussy is whack. She's never gonna happen. Now, some dudes may say, "Oh, I don't got the best dick and things like that." But there's a 50-50 thing on that. Sometimes that shit is just cap, and he just pull shit caught up. Then sometimes he just might be a little, he not that confident in himself, so he don't pit for. It's not about control that dick because
Uh,
that got dudes ain't know
You
what the fuck
breaking
to do
up,
with that
Yeah,
sis.
you're
shit.
breaking up bad.
okay, that's not just me. She is cutting out, right?
But my thing is, and I would just go off of what she was saying. Nobody wants to believe they have bad sex. Everybody wants to believe they are this sex goddess.
I
So
never
that's
said it was
why.
Right.
bad though. I never said it was bad. That's just how you guys interpret it. Is what I'm
Okay.
Let me
saying. But I never
Oh,
said bad. I
I
never
can't
said I
never
don't get
talk,
pleasure. I'm
sir.
just saying
I let
I
you
never
talk. I let you
claim.
talk, sir.
I never
Hold on. Let her
claimed that
I
I
talk.
let you
had.
talk.
Let her
Oh, no
I
talk.
let
doubt.
Right,
No
everybody
doubt.
and then
talk.
I'm
Can
really
you
gonna let you
guys hear
talk,
me
Z.
I don't
better,
even want to
or
talk no
is it
more.
choppy?
I'm just gonna press mute. Let's go.
No. I mean, like, hey, hold up, Z. Let her talk. Then you go in, and then I
No
got
doubt. No
something
doubt.
for her, if that's
No
I
cool.
was
doubt.
I
No
was
doubt.
asking, can you guys hear me now, or
Yeah,
is it still
you
choppy?
kind of breaking up.
Still choppy.
It's still choppy. But
All
yeah,
right, I'm gonna have to go upstairs. I'll be back, y'all.
yeah, she gonna run upstairs. She gonna trip trying to go upstairs. She clumsy. But anyway, but yeah, nah. So Miss Mika, you got
Yes.
it. So that yeah,
I'm done. Got nothing else to say.
you sure?
I think he needs to get out. The reason why somebody asked him why he goes through that. I think we need
I
that.
really don't care why. Like it does. I'm not
I
fucking
was
him, so
joking.
I don't care.
I
That's
mean,
what I was
True.
gonna
I'm
say
saying
when he
he
was
needs to get
saying.
that
Like
out
that's
of
why
his
we didn't
system.
ask you because we didn't give a fuck.
okay, all right, but check this out, right?
Well, maybe he needs to express himself.
I know what
Okay.
he's saying, but sometimes you
That's
got some
fucked up,
dudes,
me.
right?
That's real fucked up.
You got some dudes, right? Where I guess
You
it's
gotta
called Dixie.
excuse me. I'm on like my third shot. Sorry.
We get you. You know, you hyped up.
It's cool,
You got
me. You get excuse.
you got some dudes, right, who are so in their own head. You know, they going to pussy like it's nothing. You see what I'm saying? So when he said I never had bomb pussy, meaning he never had pussy that overwhelmed him.
Yes, that's what
You
I
see what I'm
think.
saying? Like I had to learn that. You see what I'm saying?
No
Like at
doubt.
the end of the day, right? You can't get pussy whipped because you are able to control yourself. you are able to conquer her and she get whipped on your dick instead of you getting pussy whipped. I mean, like, hey, I've just mastered that this year. You see what I'm saying? To where I do have really strong discipline, you know? That's why I said, like, yo, some of you ladies fuck with some tender dicks who don't have the ability to even hold their nut back.
I'm
All right,
sorry.
I want to do a mic check. Can y'all guys hear me better now?
Yes, ma'am. Go
We loud
on.
and clear now?
Morphine. You know my. I like your name. This is off subject. Morphine. That's Morphine.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, my rap name is Misery. Morphine and Misery. Hey. All right. So
Hey,
That's
yo,
some
and the
poisonous.
mixtape is coming out soon. Make sure y'all check it out. We're gonna be dropping that joint.
Man,
That you're gonna be fire.
the
And
toxins
if
is
you need some
heavy.
music production, I got you because I'll be making beats. But
That's some
I've been quiet for a little while. I wanted to say something.
that's some
I think
poisonous. But
that
hold on right quick, bro. Let me do this right quick. I have to introduce the most average man back here. And because it is a Thursday night, I'm not gonna argue with him, especially on live, because I don't feel like the fight. Here's the one and only Timothy. Is subscribe to his show, The Average Black Man Show, even though he doesn't have a theme song. He needs one. He needs a catchy one like the motherfucking goddamn me Good Times and the Johnsons. But yo, it's Timothy. Welcome to the show, the news never ending working service. Thank you for joining, Timothy.
Right on, right on, right on. Appreciate you. Appreciate the introduction. I'm just in the background catching up, seeing what y'all on.
They up here fighting about tender dicks and pussy that bewitch niggas.
and one thing I want to say about the particular topic is this: when it comes to dom sub dynamics, a lot of things start way before sex even begins. Right? It's like if you're a woman.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on,
Hold
thank
on,
hold
you,
hold
on.
up, nigga. I'm
Magic.
talking,
Thank
man.
you.
Coach
Shut
Brother,
your ass up.
Coach
All right,
Brother,
shut your
Coach
ass up.
Brother.
Shut your
This is
motherfucking mouth.
Timothy. This is Timothy. We invite Timothy. Let him come in, bro. Let him have some composure,
No, I've
brother.
been waiting
Coach
to
Brother.
talk. I've been waiting. I've been waiting.
Nah,
So
this
shut
is
your
your show,
motherfucking mouth
nigga.
up.
You been beating up on niggas all day, bro. Now I had to sit back right now. This is Morphine, and she hosted this. And
I ain't gonna
I'm
talk
mad at
long.
Coach Brother. Yeah.
I ain't
Yeah,
gonna talk
you
long. I got some shit to get out.
I'll give you 30 seconds, nigga. 30 seconds, nigga. Okay.
Now, when we talk about these particular things right here, a lot of it is about how it starts, right? How it starts. So when it comes to dom sub dynamics, it's oftentimes who is the person who wants it the most, and who is the person who is willing to have the self control to say we're not going to do it yet. The person who has the self control to say either we're doing it right now and I'm not fucking with you if we're not, or we're going to wait until I'm ready to do it. That's the person in the dominant position of the sex. So when a woman's experiences have been primarily either having bad experiences when it happened quickly, or there have been experiences where she made the dude wait and then she gave him a lot of pleasure and took validation from that. That's primarily a woman who's operating at
Co-
a dominant mentality when it comes to sexuality.
Coach
And
Brother.
oftentimes
Coach
these
Brother.
women are limited in what their experiences can be and have been when it comes to sex versus a man who says, oh, I never had
Let
pussy that
it play, Coach
change your
Brother.
mind.
Wow.
Because you're gonna have your own show, Coach Brother. I guarantee you. I want to do the social
I
polarity.
don't know why we
I'm
keep
a fan
going
of
back to
social polarity.
Sub and Dom.
Yeah. You're gonna have your own
Hey,
show
shut
right
the
now.
you
Let
got.
everybody ever have the after show, bro. Let them time me. Don't try to dominate
Can we talk
this
about
show.
just
I'm
one?
sorry, I had to step away for a second. I had to go to the bathroom.
Can
Yeah,
I
don't let.
can I
They
say
kind of
something?
fall back a little bit,
Yeah,
Coach
like
Brody, because
you
it's
got
gonna be your
Dom.
show.
You
It's
Can I
got
gonna be
say
your
Dom.
something?
show so
Can
sooner
can
or
I
later.
can I say something real fast?
Yeah, this Timothy show. The Timothy, you go ahead. This all you.
What?
All
Because
right,
from
y'all.
what
It's
I've listened.
before y'all go, it is 10:59 my time. Y'all know my behind gotta go to work at 12. So this show is going to go to at least 11:45. All right, y'all.
Yeah,
So
we
please,
got 45 minutes to work, right? We got
yeah.
45 minutes.
No, you
Okay.
got an
Yeah.
hour.
We
No,
No,
y'all
no,
got 45
45.
minutes.
We're gonna say
Yeah.
45. We ain't gonna give it an hour, whole
Now,
hour.
All right, go ahead,
what
y'all
I
wait.
guys.
It's 11 there, right?
It's 11 right now.
Let's do another 30.
No, I'm gonna give y'all 45. I work across the street. I'm good.
Oh, you got
okay.
it good, sis.
Yeah,
what
like I'm
what I
good.
wanted to say though is that just from what I've been listening to, unfortunately I missed the earlier show, but just from the gentleman King, I forgot, I apologize, but it's King and Brody. Basically, at the end of the day, isn't it all subjective? Because no two participants that practice dom and submission have the same experience or have the same viewpoints that you guys share. What dom and submissive for one couple may not be the same as dom and submissive for you, but that doesn't mean they aren't participating in dom and submissive. So
Holla!
True,
Nah,
true, true,
nah.
true.
The
Preach to the
dynamic,
choir.
the
Preach to the
dynamic could be
choir.
different. In other words, how, let me put it this way, the way someone goes about their relationship could be different, but everybody has a relationship. That's what I'm saying. The relationship. I'm talking about the relationship. But how you go about your relationship could be different. But we can't sit here and try to redefine what a relationship is. A relationship is still a relationship, but how you go about it is still the same. So don't let the Dom sub thing confuse you. That's old age shit. That shit that's been going on way before. You know what I'm saying? It's not, so you have to understand what those terms are, you know what I'm saying? And then apply it to your dynamic or AKA your relationship. You know what I'm saying?
I,
And then I know Shorty said that I'm too technical. I'm just helping break shit down for your understanding. But
no,
trust
baby,
me,
you ain't giving
when
no
I'm in route
understanding.
and when I'm in play,
Anything, right?
everything's in
I've
motion
been doing
on its
diamond
own.
submission shit for 9 motherfucking years. Y'all ain't teaching me nothing new. I'm the one that sell the shit to y'all.
Now
I'm the one
I
that
was talking
teach
to
y'all this
I was
motherfucking
talking to
shit.
homie who asked the question. I was just
I
asking
know
him.
that. I
I was answering his
Hey,
question.
hold on, Z. King Z. Hold on. Timothy
What's
just
up?
got up
Yeah.
here.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
King Z just got Timothy just got up here. So we're gonna let him speak his piece and let him state his premises on this whole subject matter right now. And y'all are not gonna try to drive that because y'all too anxious because y'all in y'all fucking soapbox right now. We
I
ain't
thought
gonna
that's who
really
asked
do
the
that.
question. My
Wait a
bad.
minute,
I
Yeah,
thought
Reggie.
that's
yeah,
who
Let
asked
yeah.
the
me just say
question.
Yeah,
one thing
yeah,
real quick.
yeah. I'm gonna let Timothy go in
no,
because I protect
Timothy
my
is on his
homie
way. He asked
Timothy.
his
You got the
I
question.
mic. You
I
got the mic.
appreciate you. I appreciate you, Craig, but I didn't ask a question. I did make a statement, and the
Yeah.
statement that I made was, he didn't refute it at all because at the end of the day, like he said, no two relationships are different.
Are
How
the
this
same.
how
Are the
person
same.
A and no, that you know what I mean. Yeah, no two are the same. Yeah, you guys, thank
Yeah.
you. But because couple A could define who's dominant and who's submissive completely different than couple B. And couple A can look at couple B and say, no, they're not doing it right because it's subjective. Oh, he's the dom because he's doing this X, Y, Z, and there. But in the other relationship, they could say whatever. I had asked a question in the comments earlier because you made a statement about, a dude that be like, "What you want to do, baby? Where you want to go, girl? What do you want to do?" So, in that a premise, is that saying that a dominant man could never ever be like, what? Today is your day, baby. What's going on, girl? What you want to have pop? Is
Well,
No,
that
not
not
at
here's
all.
something that
I
I
want to
learned.
respond to
Let
this particular
Let
No,
me
point.
not
respond
at all.
to Timothy real quick.
Hold on, Timothy.
I,
Coach Broadie
Hey,
that was
Win.
hold
directed to
on.
Let
me.
me
Can
I
I,
thought
can
respond.
Wait,
it
I,
was
wait,
can
wait,
directed.
Richard. Let the
No, no, no,
conversation
no, no, no,
flow.
no, 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 no. I'm gonna let it flow after this,
He
right?
was done with his statement.
No,
Go
no,
ahead,
no.
Richard.
I asked
Yeah, I
him the
think
question.
I
it.
have a
I think it was
question.
directed to me.
I have
I
a
brought the,
question.
I asked him the question to bring it up, right? I
Mm,
brought him in the conversation. But
mm.
what I'm saying is, do we have these discussions sometimes? We try to make shit personalized, and we don't understand social dynamics. Because I think people are very personal and selfish, right? Me, I, right?
Yeah, that's
and
true.
and,
Most of Ratchet, what you're saying
and we
actually is
don't
true.
even understand everybody else, right? And then when we get in a relationship, we don't understand nobody else
Right.
because we so
You don't
individual.
always have to
Yeah,
speak in general
we
conversation.
do that.
If
We
your
do
point
that
if
with
your
our
statement if your
personal.
statement is
Hold
me,
on, and I'm not finished yet. I'm not finished yet. I'm gonna let you because I see you bite. You bite. So over.
I want to respond
Yeah.
to him
No,
too.
I'm going to her. I'm going to Morphine because
yeah,
she
because
bite. This.
I'm
Yeah.
sending up to
Yeah.
wrap it up,
Yeah.
Shine,
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
don't have it's
Yeah.
11:05. Like
Yeah. Hold on. Let me speak. Then calm down. Calm down. Everybody, calm down. I'm just saying that when we had these conversations, right? We always want to reflect it back to I and me and some nonsense and shit. And I be thinking these conversations be general, right? But we want to always to do it to us to the point that we default, right? We defaulted, right? And our analogy of other people, we don't even know other people based off we so wrapped up in ourselves and how we feel. And I'm just saying, these is the one of these moments, like y'all niggas are talking about and then in every case, and then we have this soulmate shit, right? And I'm saying, if you want to have these people that you meet, the grand people, you don't know who you gonna meet, right? And that might be your soulmate at the end of the day. But y'all always try to the first person y'all meet, y'all try to make them y'all soulmate. This shit is ridiculous. But that's all I'm saying. You go ahead, Morphine. This yours. You go
After
ahead.
morphine, I'm trying to go because I wanted to
Yeah.
respond to
Yeah,
this.
because I was trying to get the flow of things, but go ahead, Brody, because they keep skipping over you.
So one thing I want to say was this. Well, I want to say two things. One, Timothy is very one thing he likes to do is come in with a subjectivist fallacy, right? Where we're having a conversation about a very particular point of view where the contextual definitions have been given, and then to say that everything is general and everything is subjective and nothing is set in stone. Listen, we already understand that everything is not 100% the same. That is an irrelevant point to make. And also, when we're talking about dom sub dynamics, it's not to say that a man never caters to his woman. It's simply to say it's the order that those things are done in, right? If you're catering to that woman to get access to her, it's different than rewarding that woman with catering to her because she's already been submissive with you. Those are two completely different things. It's about the order in which things are done. And the contextual definition that I came in with when I was talking about dom sub dynamics is that the dom is the primary giver of pleasure, the primary receiver of control, right? The greatest level of pleasure is going to come at giving up control to someone who can take you beyond the limits that you can take yourself. That's the main point that I was making. And that when you're in control, there are limits that are set from yourself that limit your ability to go beyond the limits that you set for yourself. And that's the main point that I was making. So when we're talking about dom sub dynamics, it's like the main point that I was making, that if a woman is in a position where she's always in control, and then she says that she primarily takes pleasure from being in control and from the pleasure that she gives, that she is limited from the amount of pleasure she can receive if she were able to let go of her guard and give up control. And it's the same way with the man. But it's simply that a man is typically, not always, but me and King Zay, we are accepting the fact that we're going to experience less pleasure being in a dominant position, while the women who are speaking are claiming that they experience more pleasure from being in control, which expresses that they don't completely understand the difference between being dominant and submissive. And that's the main point that I was making.
No, I disagree with what you're saying. I think you're mentally preparing yourself not to have pleasure. That's number one. But I
I
did
didn't say not pleasure. I said
wait,
more.
wait. Please, I don't need a rebuttal. I did want to
I didn't
address.
ask if you needed it. I'm gonna give it anyways.
Oh my gosh, I never can talk. That's why I keep getting
Well,
talked over.
Because
listen. I don't want
you're
nobody to feel
redefining
on
what
this
we say.
chat.
That's the
I don't
issue.
want
You
nobody to
can't
feel on this
redefine
chat
what
that
we
they
say.
can't respond or they can't be
Okay.
heard. So if even if someone says that even if he say that he don't care, it don't matter. We on live.
I don't
Yeah, I
care
mean,
what you care about.
you
I'm
know,
just
we
saying.
on live, so the people care. So just speak your
That's what I'm
voice.
saying. Like I disagree with what he said because he already said in his words that they prepare themselves to not receive pleasure. So you mentally
We
prepared
never
yourself
said we
not to.
prepare ourselves to not
Oh
get
my
pleasure.
God, he just said that. He
No,
just said.
when you when you twist words
You're
up,
twisting
that's
words around though.
Oh my God, you go back and listen to the lie. You
now.
said that you
You
guys.
listen to the live.
I just heard what he
Close
said.
Excuse
ears.
me.
You just
Yes, you
said.
did. I'm sorry to say it. You might have to rephrase yourself, but you did say that at the beginning of your
You
statement.
said you already
I never
because
said
you're
that.
excuse me, because you're a dom, you already know that you're not gonna get pleasure, as much pleasure
As
or
much.
whatever. And then you say you prepare. That's a mental thing you do to yourself. But that's not what I want to address. I want to address Timothy because he was saying something about a dominant man in life. And so because I have been in a dom and sub situation for years, over almost 10 years, and I know about it, 9 times out of 10. A sub is someone who's very dominant in real life. That's why they want to be subjugated because they're tired of always being the boss. It is a mental thing. You know what I'm saying? And the Doms, they're not as dominant in real life. So they want to be able to control something. That was to address what Timothy said. Now, when it comes to Dom and submission, it can be interchangeable, but like that, all that technical stuff y'all talking about, it really does take out the pleasure in sex. Y'all too concerned about certain things. Let's have fun. Like, okay, you want to tie me up? Yeah, tie me up. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been in the Dom position. I mean, I've been in the sub position, which a motherfucker tied me up and just wouldn't stop going down on me, and I just couldn't stop. Like that shit was crazy. So I know what it's like. I seen and I've been in a dom position where we had to tie a motherfucker up, whoop them, and the niggas is spitting on the girl and all kind of shit. They had me beating the girl. I've done all this stuff. So it's like a mental thing. And when you mentally prepare yourself not to have pleasure, you're not gonna have pleasure. And for with Zay, okay, the reason why you have never experienced no bomb pussy because you never emotionally connected to any of the women that you were fucking. You never mentally connected. You only
There you go,
connected.
assuming again.
I'm not assuming. You
You
only
are.
connected
Because you
physically.
was never in the room. You was never in the
You
room and
know
you was
what
never
makes
in my
sex
mind.
bomb? You know what makes sex bomb is when you're emotionally, mentally, and physically connected to that
To
person.
you. To you.
No, it's you have
Yes.
to have all.
I'm not going to say that's a
No,
general
I'm not about
situation.
to I'm not about
I
to
It is
sit
not
cannot
here and
say,
general.
take your
sis, that's
If
definition.
a
you're
general
mentally not
situation.
there,
Nah.
if you
Nah.
are no, I'm not. No, no,
Who
no,
said
no,
I'm
no.
not mentally
I've
there?
lived long enough
But
to know.
in a sense that
Yeah, but
she's
you live
talking
long
about,
enough to
that
know
doesn't
you, but
mean,
you don't know me.
but that
You
doesn't
No,
don't
mean,
you're not
A
in
listen,
my
plus
listen,
B
listen,
head.
equals
listen.
C.
Y'all
A
both
plus
are
B
right.
equals
There,
C.
listen, y'all both are
Yeah.
right. Two people could be right at the
A
Nah, she's
same time.
completely wrong when she comes to
A
the
It's
assumptions
not.
of
It's
me though.
B
not. Because
equals
nobody
C,
said you
bro.
had to be in love. Ain't nobody said you had to. You had to be
Nah, she's
strenuously.
making direct
And
statements about my character which are
Because you
inaccurate,
said
and so
it.
I
You
gotta
said it
correct it.
already. You said that
Nah,
here's
you're
listen,
making
listen. This is where
assumptions
I'm gonna
about me.
say I'm gonna come from a
You're
ratchet
making
crack
assumptions
standpoint,
about me.
and I'm not gonna make this shit personal. I'm gonna make a general statement. It's not about you, my brother King, or me.
But
I'm
she's
gonna
talking
say I'm gonna
directly
make
to
a.
me.
I know she is, so I'm gonna smooth this
Spoke
out,
about me.
this contention out between you two
I was
with a
just trying to help
general
the brother
statement,
so he can
so
get
you
his
guys can
Nah, I
survival
don't need
understand
insurance.
each
help.
other.
I don't need help to know me. I already know me.
Okay,
I'm not giving you help to know
You
you.
feel me?
I'm
I
giving you
No,
said
I'm
help
that
talking to
to
Shorty, not
understand
you,
what
Buffy.
is
girl,
being
not you.
said, brother. Now it's up to you to be accepting of the simplification that I'm trying to give, the
I'm not
contention.
gonna
There's a
I can't
contention in the
accept
room.
Let her
inaccuracy.
talk. That's the host of the show.
It's a contention in the
Oh,
room.
that's
I'm not on
Morpheus?
neither one of y'all side.
That's
I
Morpheus?
don't.
My bad, Morpheus.
Yeah, this morphine.
It's
I mean
morphine.
morphine, morphine,
I'm
my
not
bad,
on neither one.
morphine.
I don't take sides. If y'all don't know nothing about me, I don't take sides. I just make shit simplify it so y'all don't gotta, go back and forth and have a debate. Now you could disagree
Mm.
with me, or you could be like, yo, no, that's not where I'm coming from. Now I'm gonna say you guys are both right. You can remove yourself emotionally, meaning your emotions. You ain't in love and things in that nature, but you're still going to be mentally in tune with these conversations. You're going to have to ask because some guys and some women do need to be a little bit mentally stimulated before they can actually have sex. That doesn't mean they're emotionally involved. Now, I think Meek, when you're coming from and you're saying, yo, you got to be mentally in tune, and womanese, we're just thinking mentally. Like we're thinking, talking, conversation, feed my
I
brain
said
a little
mentally.
bit.
I'm
We're
sorry,
thinking about
morphine.
that. But men,
Mentally, emotionally, and physically.
sometimes y'all guys think about it in an emotional standpoint because you guys look at us as emotional creatures. So
Can
you
I
think
speak
everything that
next?
we say is like emotionally. But I don't think I'm gonna clarify in a general. I'm not saying that's what Meek is saying, and I'm not saying that's what you're saying, King. Like that you're saying that she's coming from an emotional state. I'm just saying in general, between a man and a woman, it comes off that way. Um, but I will
Hmm.
agree to both of you guys. Meek, in his defense, you do not have to be extremely emotional to have fucking sex with someone and enjoy it
No,
wonderfully.
no, you
And in
don't
her
have to be.
defense, I don't think she's coming off from an emotional way, King. She just talking about, yo, feed my
I
brain
didn't.
a
I
little
never
bit.
No,
said.
I'm
Yeah, no
saying
doubt. No
for
doubt.
you to reach a high, if you want that high level of ecstasy, you will have to be totally in tune with your partner, not just physically. You know what I'm saying? What you guys are talking about is very physical. It's very technical when I'm listening to you guys. And so I'm going off of what you're telling me and I'm responding and I'm not trying to be mean. I am a little crass sometimes and I apologize. I've been drinking a little bit, but at the same time, I'm trying to help you get you some bomb pussy. So if you want some bomb
I don't.
pussy,
I don't
wait,
believe in bomb
See,
pussy.
listen.
Okay, my bad. My bad.
Please
Go ahead.
listen.
Go ahead,
may
Joe.
If you
Go ahead.
I
want
like
you
to
some
speak
bomb
next.
pussy,
I have to
right?
rebuttal that, fam.
Yo,
If
he
you
going
want
next.
if you want you some bomb pussy that you never had, you have to give yourself into it totally, mentally, physically, emotionally. That's probably why you ain't never had no bomb pussy because one or the other was lacking. That's
Now
I
I want
all
to
I'm
go.
disagree with
saying.
that, but
So
go
so
ahead,
let
brother.
I want to go after King
let
Zach.
me just
So,
rebuttal that real quick. Let me just rebuttal that real
I
quick.
had asked to go
And
next
this is
already.
why I say
Timothy.
she's making assumptions about
You
me
did, Tim.
because not once did I ever say those things. So she's making statements
So
about
you
me
never
that are
say you never had
inaccurate.
no bomb pussy.
I said it, but
But
those
brother,
other
but
things you were saying
sis,
about me
let him
not being
respond
mentally
without you rebutting.
connected,
Like you didn't want him to
about me
respond.
not being mentally
Go ahead.
connected to my shorty when we're getting it in, because if I put her on the phone right now, she's gonna crush everything you just said. I'm
He can't
very in tune
crush
with
it.
the body. I'm very in tune with the body. I can tell by just a subtle touch what her body's reacting to when it jumps, the goosebumps, the moans. I pay attention to her breath. I pay attention to all of that shit because to me, that's what arouses me.
You
So
said body
I'm
again.
very,
That's physical, baby. I'm
Oh,
trying to
you a
tell you.
little
You said
sucky
yeah,
bus,
but
King
see,
you said
King
so
Tay.
she's, so what's up?
I am a succubus.
Said you a little sucky bus.
Now,
You
now
said
Nah,
you
I
they're
in
don't know
tune
they're
about, I
with the
mean,
actually
maybe,
body.
they're
That's
but
actually
what I'm
physical,
making a
saying,
babe.
point.
You
That's
They're
get
actually
what I'm
physical,
sucker
making my
saying
baby.
is,
point
energy
for
from
me.
what I'm
women.
saying,
You little sucky
I'm
bus.
They're
very in tune. I'm very in
And
tune is what I'm
that's
saying because she
that's
said
what.
I'm
well,
not.
He
well,
No,
what
said
I
I'm
they're
I'm
didn't
energy
say
saying,
very
you was.
mindful.
I
what
did
you
not
guys are
say you
saying
wasn't
are
into.
absolutely
I did not say
confirming the
that.
thing that I said earlier about it being subjective, because her statement just proved her perspective. What he said proves his perspective, which just
Mm-hmm.
proves there is no set in stone way for anybody of how something is or it isn't in this particular context. You know,
That Tim?
for yeah.
All
So
right,
yes,
Tim.
for one person, it could be they have to, in order to reach a particular climax, they could be exactly what she said. They have to be in tune with all the emotional, physical, spiritual, and or
Hmm.
whatever. But for another person, it may not be those parameters that need to be met for them to reach what they consider to be their high climax. It's
Right.
still
True,
subjective. It's
Right.
no
still
doubt.
subjective.
And she also said
Hey, hold on. I'm going after
that
Timothy.
She's been in a Dom sub dynamic for 10 years, but when she
Mm.
went to go describe Dom and sub dynamic, she was talking about whips and chains and all this freaky shit. But that's top and bottom. That's not Dom and
That's
sub.
not top and bottom. What are you talking about?
Hold on. I was supposed to go after Timotheus, right? So there's some things I wanted to express, right? Some things I want to
Hmm.
express. The main thing that was twisted up, right, was the idea of not receiving pleasure. There's a difference between being a primary giver of pleasure and secondary receiver of pleasure and not receiving pleasure at all or not having great experiences. Those are two completely different things,
Hmm.
and that's mixing it up, right? A dominant perspective is somebody who wants to feel like they're the one who's giving a person the peak experience, right? That's a dominant mindset to have. So when I'm looking at things from that perspective, I'm looking at it like, okay, well, accepting that being dominant means that the level of control that you have limits the amount of pleasure that you can experience. It's not saying that you aren't experiencing pleasure. It's just saying that you would experience more pleasure through giving up control than through being in control. Those are two completely different points of view rather than saying
Hmm.
somebody's not experiencing pleasure. And that doesn't mean
No
that you're
doubt.
not emotionally connected to your woman. It doesn't mean that you're not mentally connected to your woman. It's just that that's the role that you take. That's the role that you accept. And like I said earlier, a couple hours ago, I said that I'm a soft switch, which means that if a woman is on my program, then I'm open to opening up to a certain level of my submissive sexual ego in order to experience higher levels of pleasure. So these are things that I've expressed. Now, another thing is this, right? And I think Timothy has came in and said that that means that all of these things are different. And I somewhat disagree with that. I say that there are always going to be some differences, but these key tenets of dominant and submissive, in the way that I express them, I think that they're pretty consistent, right? When you're the person who's in control, the fact that you're in control, that puts you in a logical mind state, that logical mind state, like, and I'll say this, being able to communicate these things in a conversation logically and with different ideologies doesn't mean that that's how somebody operates within the moment of dealing with someone. That means that a person has taken enough thought into what they do to be able to articulate what they experience in an articulate way. That doesn't mean that a person isn't in the moment when they have those experiences. So to me, that's also a bad point to make. So
Brody, can I ask you a question?
go ahead.
Okay. So, because me personally, right? Um, can a person get more pleasure from being dominant than being sub? Because for me, I get more pleasure from being dominant. No, I'm not gonna say that. I get equal pleasure, but I get pleasure from being dominant. If I'm taking control, I'm enjoying every moment of it. So how is it possible that you're not getting pleasure? That's what I don't understand. Like
I
you
never
say,
said not getting pleasure. I said
not.
the
I mean,
submissive position receives more pleasure. And the reason why is,
and I don't think that's
and,
true.
let me explain this real quick, right? The pleasure that you receive from being dominant is primarily your ego being stroked, making you feel good about yourself rather than separating yourself from your ego and enjoying the moment regardless of what happens. Those are two completely different things. And another thing to say about that particular thing that I'm expressing is that when it comes to dominant versus submissive, if you're both the primary giver of pleasure and if you're both the primary receiver of pleasure, as in you receive the most pleasure, and you're the person who's the most in control, then that puts you in a position where it's unbalanced,
Okay,
right?
I got a
The reason,
hypothetical.
hold on, let me finish. The reason that the dominant gets the amount of control that they get, right? The reason why they are qualified for the amount of control that they get is because the submissive gets more pleasure from the other person getting control. If the person in control is getting all the pleasure, then it's an unbalanced situation where the person who's submissive is really just being taken advantage of.
Okay, I got a question for all the panel, and I'm gonna shut up. I want everybody to answer this question. So, say you getting some head, right? Say you getting some head, and you smush their head into your vagina or your penis or whatever. Who's the dom and who's the sub?
I can answer that very easily. Very easily. There's a difference. One, that's a little bit of a nuanced situation, but how I define it, there's a difference between dominant and submissive head, right? Now, at the peak of a woman giving submissive head, she can experience orgasms from giving head without even her clitoris or her pussy being touched, right? Now, that's typically when a woman's getting throat fucked. That's when she is getting face fucked, throat fucked. She's having throat gasms. That's submissive head. Dominant head may be a woman whose throat isn't activated, her vagus nerve isn't activated, but she's able to hit the two-hand twist, spitty slurpy, tongue swirling, gok 5000, but her throat isn't activated. She isn't really receiving or being stretched. She's using her logic, her technique to create a pleasurable experience that gives her validation from how much pleasure that she's giving the other person, but that isn't intrinsic pleasure.
Why
That isn't
isn't it
There you
intrinsic
Hold
pleasure
on,
to have
hold on, hold
communication?
on, hold on. I'm
Wait.
jumping
I was
back
just
in.
saying something. I was just saying something.
Okay, I gotta go back in so you get through because I
Yeah,
gotta
and then
ask Coach Broadie a side.
we only got it's
Yeah,
11:24, so I'm gonna just say this. Um, this is what I don't like. This is the 20% me and Brody is going to argue about. What
you
we
should
saying
talk
here,
about him about that.
I'm
But
going to
go
argue
ahead.
because we always argue
Yeah,
about this.
that was
Like we
whack.
just
You know,
always
argue
argue.
with
This is
this
our
whack at
basic
this point.
argument. But shit, you can't tell me what I can't argue
Yeah,
about. I'm
yeah,
argue
you
about
can't
whatever I.
argue about it.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go
I'm.
ahead.
I'm.
This,
I'm
this
gonna
way.
definitely
Go ahead,
argue about it
Morphine.
because that's what I
Go
do.
ahead. I want to hear what you're
So
saying,
my
Morphine.
point is, before he keep trying to stop a chick.
Yeah,
So
I'm
my point
stopping this
is,
shit.
my
Either way.
point is,
Go ahead.
my point is that we can't tell people what their experience is, and your experience ain't this because it's not what I'm saying. So that's not fair, because what you're saying and with their experiences may be two totally things. So
We
I disagree that if you
we
get satisfaction and fellatio, then you get satisfaction. That's her satisfaction. She get off because she's getting you off. You can't tell her that you're not getting full satisfaction because it's not going all the way down your throat. Some people, some men like they dick sucked on, and some men just like the feeling of the of they dick going in stuff. You know,
we
going in the
killing them,
canal,
brother. We
like
killing them. We
going in
killing
the
them at this point,
canal.
brother. We
So
killing
if
them
you
at this
guys,
point,
if
brother.
some guys like their shit just sucked on and things of that nature, then that's different. You get what I'm saying? That's just how it goes. And Brody is just not that guy, you know?
Now I'm gonna
Brother,
tell you,
brother. Hello,
I'm gonna tell you
hello,
where I
brother,
disagree.
brother. Let me go in. I'm gonna tell you where I disagree with. I agree with brother. I have a lot of agreement with him. He basically said that some women suck dick and they get orgasm. Like I had plenty of bitches that sucked my dick. Did I have some bitches
I
who
agree
tried to
with
say,
that one.
yeah, I had plenty of bitches who told me, like, nigga, quit crying. Quit hollering, nigga. Don't make no noise, nigga. Let me suck your dick. Cause they felt that it was dominant, right? You know what I'm saying? So I get him. He breaking this shit down. This is why he is Coach Broadie, the chairman at this point. And y'all need to listen to him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Listen,
I had to
I
go
can't
in.
speak right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
But I do agree with Brody when he said the fuck face and shit, and
yeah. Yeah,
that
yeah.
part for
Exactly.
me, that part for me, yes, I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And I was saying, we act like we gonna braze over that.
So
Like we gonna
we're not
glaze
gonna
over that. Yeah.
we're not gonna
Yeah.
dismiss that because that's a fact. Like some women do get wet, they get wetter when when their throat is like open and ready for the taking. However, I feel like it's pleasure in both ways. I don't know if I'm misinterpreting what he's saying. He said they get limited pleasure, but I think that you can get ultimate pleasure in both ways. And that's the only thing I disagree with him on.
That's
Everything
why I
else,
disagree with him too.
Now,
I
I
I
everything
said
disagree
else,
with
I
him.
now
agree
I
what
with you.
disagree
Keisha
with him
said
because men might not
for
like
me,
that. So that means if the man don't like it, she'll never get that fulfillment. So that's not
now
fair.
right?
now one
Like,
thing I
So
wanted to say was
so
this.
so
Now I
what
want
the
to say
thing
this real
about
quick.
it is
go
that
ahead, Tim. Then I'm gonna let Brody go.
okay, the thing about it is where I agree with Keisha is like you, and it goes back to the whole what I keep saying about subjective, because the key word everyone keeps saying is that it's true that some women, it's true that some is a subjective statement. So
Yeah.
you can't, like Keisha said, you can't say, well, since your experience isn't what I say it should be, then you're not doing what I'm saying. That's
Mm-hmm.
the part that's where I still stand. It's, you know what I mean? That's, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Timothy, you're 100% correct.
Now
No
I'll say
doubt.
this, right. I set a contextual definition and premise before I got into this topic, right? So I'm speaking of a point that I'm making, and I'm staying consistent with the point that I made. My point from the very beginning, even before we started this live, is that to be dominant is the primary, not the only receiver of pleasure, but they're the primary giver of pleasure, secondary receiver of pleasure, and they're the primary receiver of control and the secondary giver of control, right? Now what this means is this, that when you're in a position where you're the one who's deciding the actions that you take, and you take pleasure, ego gratification, validation out of you making a decision to make certain acts that give a person pleasure, that stroke your own ego, that is dominant in its essence. That's how I define things, right? How I define things. Submissive is when you give up control of what either happens to you or what you do based off of what someone else tells you to do. And then from doing things outside of how you typically would decide to do things, you receive more pleasure than if you were in control. So when I gave that definition in that context about head, like when you are in the submissive position, the more you're stretched, the more you're pushed beyond your typical capacity, the more you're in a position where things would typically be uncomfortable or painful, and you take pleasure and gratification out of that. That's more of a submissive position, right? But when you're in a position where things do not stretch you, where you're easily able to handle the situation, where you're trying to get a person to be overwhelmed with pleasure to the point where they're unable to stand you and you take them beyond their limits, that's dominant. So when I was expressing dominant versus submissive head, I think that's a great example. I've
I
had
just,
both.
I just see too many
Now,
nuances in
hold on,
it.
hold on, hold on,
I
hold on.
see
Let
too
me
many
finish. Let me finish.
nuances in
Wait,
that.
I've had dominant head. Like when it comes to head, I'm definitely a switch, right? When it comes to sex, I'm mostly a dom. But when it comes to head, I'm definitely a switch. I've had head where a woman might hit me with the 2-hand twist, spitty, slurpy, twisting hands, gok 5,000 with the
Okay,
slurping and all that other stuff,
which
right?
one you like better?
She was doing that most or from a standpoint of not stretching her throat capacity so that she can mainly keep the head of the dick right in her mouth, use the hands to avoid it going too deep. But when you're submissive, you want things to go as deep as possible. When you're in that submissive headspace, you want to be stretched as much as possible, right? And so when you're in that headspace, it may not be the same for everyone, but for the context that I've given, for this context, that is what I'm talking about. So when you're taking that dominant perspective, you're saying, okay, cool, I'm going to do this in a way that doesn't stretch me too far. I can give as much pleasure as possible. I can control what I'm doing. I'm doing this off of my own merits, off of my own ideas, off of how I'm doing things. When I give this pleasure, the pleasure that I'm giving is going to make me feel good. It's still pleasure. I'm not creating a value judgment of dominant versus submissive. I'm not creating a value judgment. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm saying that when you're dominant, you're primarily taking ego gratification. Ego gratification is different from pure pleasure. Those are two different things. You can have both. When you're dominant, you can still receive pleasure. For man's
I
being
got,
dominant,
I
go
got a
ahead.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
just hear too
can
many
I
nuances.
answer the can I
I,
answer your question, Meek,
I
real
hear a
quick?
lot
Can
of
I put my
nuances.
input with the answer
what
to
question
the
was it?
question? This is
What can
King
you
Zay.
say?
The one where you were saying when you're getting head or giving head, who's the dom, who's the sub? That's what you asked, right?
Thank you. Answer that one, please. I got another one
Okay,
though.
so
So.
boom, and again, and I want to take subjection out of it for you, Tim. I want to make it as clear as possible because I made a statement earlier, and I'm gonna circle back around to it when it came to dom, sub, tops, and bottoms. So I'm gonna define it first, and then I'm gonna answer your question, Meek. Is that cool with you?
Do you, babe?
All
Do
right, cool. So boom. If we're outside, we're gonna take shit outside the bedroom for a second. So the dom, like I said earlier, is the one that the control in terms of making decisions is given to in any area of the sub's life. And then the sub, and it could be all, it could be part, okay? And the sub is the one who's giving up the control of making decisions in life, in any area of that sub's life. It could be some, it could be all right? So now, once that's outside the bedroom. Now, when you get into the bedroom, when you fucking now, the top is the one who is giving the pleasure, and the bottom is the one receiving the pleasure. This is where the switches come into play because this is where you could be the one on the top and you're the one who's giving the pleasure, and then the one on the bottom's receiving it, and then you switch, and then now that person's giving you, you know what I'm saying, and then they become top and da da da. But then when you step outside the bedroom and you guys are done fucking and all that shit's done and over with, and you go back to your relationship or your dynamic, the identity of Dom and Sub is still in play. It was still in play when you guys were playing and fucking, but now when you go back to life and decisions need to be made and things like that, the Dom and Sub dynamic is back in play. The Dom is still the one who has the control to make the decision on things. And I'm not saying that, oh, and I know Tim asked that question earlier and I didn't have a chance to answer him when he was saying, you know, when I say, oh, baby, what you want to do? You want to do this, da da da. What I'm saying is, yes, a Dom will ask his sub, hey, what do you think about this or what? But ultimately, he makes the decision. The Dom, let me not say he, because it could be a woman too. But ultimately, the Dom is the one in control of making that decision. When I was referring to the man saying, hey, baby, you want to go over here? What do you want to do? Da da da. What I'm saying in that instance is that person, whether it's a man or woman, but in this case, I was talking about a man. He is looking for that woman to be the one to ultimately make the final decision. He's not saying, I want to be the one to make the decision, nor, and I've talked to plenty of women in this position, nor does the woman enjoy being in a place of being the ultimate decision maker. You know what I'm saying? So So for me, the dom and sub, and this is what it is in old age definition, dom and sub, the dom is the one who is given control and making decisions. The sub is the one who's giving up the control to making decisions. But then when you're in the bedroom, the top is the one who's giving pleasure, the bottom is the one receiving pleasure. And yes, tops and bottoms can switch off because as you said, one could be on top, one could be giving head, one could be getting head. You know what I mean? And then you could switch. You could be in the 69. You know what I mean? So yes. You know what I mean? In that case. So dom and sub has to do with who's the ultimate decision maker.
Okay. Someone else answer that question. Oh, that's it.
I want to say this real quick. Hey Z,
In most relationships, no, they both are the decision maker. No, I mean, it's only in rare extremities do women do women not make the same decisions as they mate. Like that's a rarity in 2023. It just is. Like most of the
It
time,
is.
y'all
That's
say,
true.
"Well, we'll take your opinion under advisement." Like y'all motherfuckers Europeans. That's some European shit to say, which is why it's real slay, right? Like, cause it's like a disingenuous way to be like, I think about what you said. So I just had to put that out there.
And that's why there's
Um,
so much power struggles in relationships right now because you got two people trying to be the ultimate decision maker.
But you're
and
gonna always
and on
have
some
two
real
people
stuff.
making the
Question
ultimate
to ask
decisions
them.
because no one is gonna let you have total power. Or do you really want total power over everyone's decision making? You don't want total power over whether what she eats, what she sleeps, what she do her hair, what she go to the bathroom, what toilet paper she use, what rag she use, what color rag she use, what color she wearing today.
Flag
You're
on the
not
Some
play.
people
making all
are
those
OCD
decisions,
like
bruh.
that though.
So
Can I
you're
Flag
gonna
on the
want her
play.
to be
Flag on
you're
the
gonna
And
want
play.
her to
that's
be some
where
type of
Flag on
can
the
I
self-sufficient.
say
play.
And
something?
even when it comes down to the money making decisions, when you're not around, you're going to want her to have some self sufficiency. So we're not going to sit here and say that pendulum doesn't swing
no
both
doubt.
ways.
Hey,
But
that's a
hold up,
flag on the play.
let me do
I gotta
this
say
right
this
quick.
real quick.
Hold on right quick. Let
I
me do
got
this right quick. We had somebody
And
new that
that's where the
came on.
subjection comes in.
We hold on right quick. We have somebody new that came on. Miss Marika. Please introduce yourself and welcome to the show. How are you doing today? Hello, Miss Marika.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can y'all hear me now?
Oh yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Hi, my name is Marika. I just want to say hello to everybody and thank you for having me here in the group.
No doubt. Welcome.
Yeah, no problem, no problem, no problem. Thank you for coming on the show. If
How is
anything you would
everyone
like to,
tonight?
oh, we're pretty good. We're
We
pretty
doing
good.
good.
We're
We
We're
pretty
doing
talking
good.
good.
about Dom and subs. Do you know anything about that?
Somebody's computer or something in the background is
You mute.
echoing.
Can you mute the feed in the background?
I don't know who
That's me.
that
That's
is.
me. That's me. That's me. That's Ratchet Craig. Uh, we coming down to the countdown right now, right?
No,
Uh,
y'all could go on. I'm gonna dip off and go get dressed, and then I'm gonna come back on my phone.
But
Yeah,
I
but
did want
no,
to
no, no,
I
I
wanted
want
to
to
throw
bring
a
no.
back
flag on the
something
play.
Morphine has said because she
They
said
good, Ratchet. They
before
good.
when somebody is has an expertise in a certain area, you will want them to dominate.
Now,
That's the thing. So there's always going to be a switch in
now,
life and in sex. Because
now,
if somebody is like, for example, if you know you like the thing she do, you gonna want her to do that thing she do.
But see, that's the thing is that's where the whole ultimate choice comes in because they're the way that they're framed. Well, I won't say they. The way that it's being framed, I'm not gonna say that they're doing it because I'm still speaking generalities. But the way that it's being framed in the conversation is that that man that sees that trait in her ultimately makes the decision to let her lead in that aspect. So
facts.
Exactly.
Hey,
Yes, indeed.
I
Yes,
need to throw
indeed.
a flag. I need
Yes.
to throw a flag
Man,
on the
that's some
play.
fake shit.
I need
Wow.
to throw a flag on the play for morphine, right? Because we've had this conversation before. No man we've ever had a conversation with in any of our chats has ever said he wants to have 100% control over every single decision a woman ever makes. That is a fallacy. No man has ever said that we've had a conversation with. We're talking about a delegation of tasks that relate to the relationship dynamic itself, right? Now, you as a man, if you take the leadership position, even if a woman, if she takes the leadership position, I'm not against that. If you say this person is better at this particular thing than I am, then delegate that task. And delegation of task is still a process of being in leadership, and that's still a matter of dominance, right? Now, part of security is understanding that somebody can be better at something than you. If you only want to deal with somebody who's not better than you at anything than you do, then probably that's a matter of insecurity. That's weak, right? That's where there's a
hold on real quick. Hold on real quick, Brody. So Miss Marika, how do you feel about that on what the chairman, the Coach Broadie, what he broke down? What's your views and thoughts about it?
Are you particularly talking about leadership roles that couples play, or just relationship wise, or just in general?
Exactly.
And I still ain't finished, so I'm gonna pop back in, but I'm gonna let Marika go first because
yeah.
I'll be back, y'all. I'm gonna pop back in. I'm switching platforms. I'm devices. I'm sorry.
Personally, I just came in, so I don't know what everybody's point of view is on that, and I'll just keep listening to what the brother has to say first before I even make any type of emphasis.
That's cool.
Hey, hold on.
I still ain't got my point off, so don't be coming in here with some new shit, Craig, because I ain't finished what I was saying.
No, it is new shit. It is new shit.
All right,
you gotta say,
shut up real quick.
Yeah. You gotta. No. We don't need you to finish. That's
I need
a
to
good
finish.
No, because you gonna have your own show, right? You the hot
I ain't
top.
even talking about the sexual polarity quadrant right now. That's for another time.
Why are you so technical? You need to live life, sir.
I live life. My life is fabulous.
She said, "You need to live life, sir."
Yeah, and I like it. This was good.
That was
like, excuse me, woman. Don't you know I get paid for talking about this shit? Like, what are you talking about? Talking about living life.
Okay,
not according to Jayle. Not according to Jayle. You had no results.
Talking about
you had no results.
We're both content creators, but that's not what I'm saying. It's like you're so freaking. You said you was what, 40?
No, he's 27.
Nah, that's me.
Like he's 40-year-old man. He got an old soul.
Oh, he's 27, and he's so technical, and I'm like, oh my god! And you know, when I was younger, when I was, I'm very technical. Don't get me wrong, I'm very technical, and I'm so organized, and everything got to be in its place and all that. But I'm at this age right now where I just want to just have fun. I'm tired of being.
Are you writing any books? Are you writing any books?
Yes.
All right, cool. Now, within the books you write in, do you organize your chapters?
Yes.
All right, cool. Now, does any of those things tie to each other? Because you have to understand, one, I'm a writer, right?
I've been a writer since I was 11, baby.
One, I'm a writer. Two, I'm a content creator. And for me, I don't want to just say a bunch of random shit that don't actually fit together. I'm technical in the way that I am, not only because I'm a writer, but also because I'm a content creator, but also because I'm a coach who has clients who I speak to on a regular basis. And to do that, I need to be able to be technical enough to convey my ideas without convoluting it, without being all over the place all the fucking time.
No, I'm not even talking about you, Coach. I'm talking about the other young man.
I was speaking when you responded. I was speaking.
Coach Broadie is the same person.
I know who he is.
You're talking about me, Meek.
King Zay.
King Zay, yeah.
Which one is
King Zay? Oh shit!
King
You're the
Zay
hot seat. You're the
King
hot
Zay
seat.
is the 40-year-old. King Zay is 40.
You're the hot seat,
Zay is
King Zay.
40. Okay, but both of y'all are so freaking technical. It's like, how can you get pleasure?
Communicating something in a non-sexual context.
I get it because at one point I got
Let her get it off. Let her get
at
it off.
one point I got pleasure out of being so technical, right? And this is a God-given word. Like sometimes though, like just loosen up.
Who says I'm not loose?
Have fun.
So Meek, let me say this. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I like to articulate myself. Like Coach Broadie was saying, I like to establish clarity. And that's why I spent so much time redefining things when I noticed that the definitions were being switched up and redefined and doing things, because now it opens the door for confusion. But because I know how to communicate or choose to communicate something doesn't mean that I can't connect with something. You know what I'm saying? That's you're taking two different sides of the brain and saying, you know what I mean? Like it can't even happen. It's like, look, I'm articulating, I'm communicating, that's one thing. But when I'm in the act of something, that's another.
I missed
Yeah.
it
You know what I'm
all. I'm
saying?
My
sorry.
my my thing with it is that like I understand and I agree with Brody when Brody says, when it comes to diamond sub, there is a standard that you follow, but a majority of this conversation has been nuance upon nuance upon nuance. So what this conversation has been are it's been about the nuances of these particular of this particular definition of diamond sub, because
Hey, hey,
I
okay, my fault.
a lot of it has been anecdotal. Well, for me, I feel like it's this, and for me, I feel it's that. Well, I've done this with this person, and I've done that with this person. It's been a lot of anecdotal experience, and everyone's reality
I live from
is based on their own experiences. So, which goes back to my whole subjective thing, because what you're saying is 100% factual in your experience, but
exactly.
your experience doesn't translate onto another person's experience.
Now,
Yeah, the whole group. It don't
What I
translate to
broke
the whole
down, what
group.
I broke down
However,
about
yeah, but
what I broke
however,
down
what
about dom
is
subs, tops, and bottoms have been
when we're
around
having
before me.
Hey,
when
hey,
however,
hold on, brothers.
what
Hold on, brothers. Hold on, brothers. We gonna let the sister
go
eat
ahead.
it out because we finna eat it broadcast,
yeah,
Yeah,
I
right?
gotta go. I
let
gotta
me
Yeah,
go
speak.
yeah,
too. I'm
yeah.
gonna
We
get
finna
off of
eat it,
here.
brother. We
The
gonna
I
let the
want
young
to
sister
just
eat
say
it,
something.
new
and
young
then
lady didn't get to speak. The lady that just came in didn't get to speak yet.
yeah, she did speak. She
Marie.
did
Did
speak.
did
But
she?
Yeah.
here's the thing, right? What Timothy has said, everything I say, I listen to. You guys have some truth to it. However, I feel like you won't know what you like until you experience what you like. So I
No, you
just
won't know what you like until you know yourself.
no, no. You know yourself already. You
That's
know who you
the
are.
same shit. Hold on, wait a minute. That's the same damn shit. But continue, sis.
You know who you are. You've been with you the whole time you been you. So come on.
Damn, damn,
So
damn. That's hard.
come on now.
Yeah.
So
Let's
I know
talk
what I
You
like
don't
like.
you
listen.
like sushi until you eat sushi.
Listen, I didn't know that I like chicken till I ate a piece of chicken. That's all I'm
Okay.
saying. So you won't
Hmm.
know what you like until you experience what you like. So the only thing that I tried to bring here today, and I'm getting off of here. The only thing I tried to bring here today is try to experience, smell the roses, let loose. Let's not, I understand you guys got this particular ideology about Dom and sub, but and I know that you guys maybe kind of it seems like you guys are new to it. I don't know. But it's once you get into it and you really experience and you let go and just have that passion, the chemistry. That's the important part. If you don't have that passion and that chemistry, then it's going to keep being that technical thing. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all read the books, y'all heard this, but once you get in it and you feel it and you really get in it, you got to get in tune with it. That's what I'm trying to say. And I'm trying to tell you guys, like, try to let go. Try to let go and experience that euphoria. You get what I'm saying? But
Now,
No
anyway,
doubt.
Hold
No
on, hold
doubt. And
on,
you've
hold
been
on.
experiencing.
I don't answer
She's
back
been
right there.
I'm
experiencing my
out. I'm
Hold
she's
out.
on,
been
hold on,
Bye.
hold
experiencing
on.
All
my
right,
now,
you have a good
Hold
hey,
night.
in
on,
my
now,
hold
if you
on,
I
if
Have a good
told
night,
y'all y'all
Fibs.
hold
good. Go
hold
ahead.
on,
If you
Have
guys
a
hold
good
can
on,
night.
talk,
hold
we can
on,
talk.
fellas.
Go
Hold
ahead.
on, fellas. Hold on, fellas. Buffy, I need you to go ahead because I'm finna close out this show and we gonna continue this another time. And I got my closing words afterwards, right? And fellas,
those
just
words,
chill.
I've been waiting for a while to say
No,
them.
no, you been saying a lot, Coach.
But
Broadie.
hey, and I want to say this too, right before we close out. Now, Brody, you gotta learn how not to shoot all your bullets at once. A wise man
A lot of
that
bullets.
wasn't drunk told me that. So
Yeah, who was it drunk? Who that was me, bro? That was me. Cut that out, bro. He trying to throw shots at me. I'm
so
gonna kill this young
so
nigga. I'm gonna kill this young nigga.
hey, it's recorded. You heard that. So anyway, right? I want to say this, right? One thing that we got to do, right? We are gonna visit this topic, morphine. We're gonna have some more late nights with morphine since she's a damn vampire. So, we're gonna get back to this, right? And
We got to.
Brody, you are now the chairman, and we're all gonna get ready to
Official
go
term.
to Broadieology Academy, and you have a class to teach us. And
Yeah,
Zay,
class shit. See, you trying to steal my content, Creek. I don't like this.
bro, it's ours. Shut up. So anyway,
Yeah.
like I was saying, right, when it come down to it, right, Zay, you're welcome to come on. Timotheus, you already know. Everyone, you know, this is your platform too, and we
Hey,
appreciate your time for coming on. Um, I really thank you guys. I want to give a shout out to Information Age. Brody has his own channel. His name, Coach Broadie. He's the greatest. I mean, the greatest coach out there. He'll break it down with all his sophisticated words and all of his mathematician skills. He'll break it all down
yeah,
for
all that
you, right?
technical shit that we
Yeah,
complain about right now.
everything. So, also
and
Timotheus have his show,
yeah.
the Average Black Man Show. Please subscribe to him. Also,
I'm going on the average black man. I'm going on that.
you're not an
Yeah.
average black man. You're a
Yeah, I
problem.
am man. Yeah, I'm the problem. Okay.
You're the problem.
I'm gonna let TV Deals convey that. I'm gonna let TV
Yeah,
Deals do that. Yeah.
So did I
yeah.
just miss a whole show?
Hey, but I did want to say
Yes, you
something
did,
before.
sis. You missed the whole damn show. We're
Hold
gonna have to
on.
I
wrap it
missed a
up.
whole show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you pretty much
Before I,
did. Lakeisha, we see your titties on live. So,
oh, you said it's titties on the live. Where
yeah,
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Show us your titties. Show us the titties.
Yeah, show the
shout,
titties.
Mm-mm.
Sorry,
On there too.
sorry, sorry, YouTube. We didn't mean to
Hey,
do that.
that's
hey,
what's
put
wrong. That's what's wrong with black women. They be getting comfortable, so they get naked. I
hey
mean,
put the
there's
I
nothing
tuck in
wrong
gotta
with
get
that too.
dressed. I'm going to work.
So,
Once that bra come off, it's all good.
yeah. So anyway,
Yes, I
hey,
will.
I got blessed. Fuck out of here.
and so check this out. I would also give like a special thanks to the Imperial and Her Majesty Lady Ivory Scales of Information Age. Please like and subscribe to that also. But other than that, Miss Mika, I'm sorry, I called you Micaiah. I'm thinking about
Hold on, I'm trying to
somebody
get
Hey,
else.
I
off what
like
I had
that
to say
name. I
before we
might
get off
use
this
that
call.
name.
It
Mika.
sounds like
Okay, close
I
it
changed
out.
that. I want you.
You
I
got
want
1
you.
minute to say
Nigga, no
Coach
time,
Brother.
B. Hold up.
No,
She
I'm
got
talking
her
about Coach
own.
Brother. Coach Brother got 1 minute.
I gotta say what Miss Micaiah got her own platform. What's the name of the platform, Miss Micaiah?
Mika. And I have mouth off with Mika because you know I'm loud. We got a mouth off
No,
with
no shit, Sherlock.
Okay, so you said mouth off with you, right? Okay,
yeah, mouth off with Mika, but you can just subscribe to my YouTube Mika Wash Meikawash, and you'll find me there. And then I got if you guys are in the chat, I got Real Talk, that's my group. And you know my motherfucking page always popping. Right.
Mm.
Hey, Mika, you got to put your information back there in the group, right? So I can start sharing it
It was a
on the
pleasure.
promo.
I thought
Yeah,
I added. I thought I added you, Craig. But you know what? After this, I might end up calling you Mr. Ratchet.
yeah, Mr. Ratchet.
I just want to say that I appreciate you guys for having me on the platform. It was a pleasure meeting everyone that's new. Everybody that know me from the back chat, you already know what it is.
The great
And
Timothy
make
is.
sure you guys all like and to subscribe to each other's platform. Let's keep the black unity going, and let's continue to have good conversations like this and grow and build.
Hey, Timothy
Oh,
is. I'll make
wait,
sure I put your
hold on,
platform. I'll
Ratchet.
make sure I put
I
your
gotta do this.
platform too.
Hold on, Ratchet. Hey, speaking of bloodshed and bullshit, Timotheus, there's a certain somebody that would love to have a one-on-one with you.
See, you stealing all my talking points. Go ahead,
There's a
bro.
certain somebody
You're a
that
hog,
would
bro.
love to. You drunk? Shut up. That would
Okay.
love to have a one-on-one with you, right? I'm gonna see the contingency and the problem, but he had the issue with you calling yourself the average black man. He said, "What the hell are you trying to convey for black men in general?" He also has another contingency with you. You see what I'm saying? So I will set that up real soon.
Versus
We'll get
versus
more.
two.
Yeah,
Versus
it'll be
two. You
versus
better not
two.
run. You better not run like
But
Jayle did, bro. You better not run like Jayle did, bro.
I don't
I
think
don't.
Timotheus will.
No,
Nah.
I don't want to go run.
But this is
Yeah.
somebody outside of the back chat. He saw your comments and then he went on, found your show, and watched some of the things you said. So he was you got a
That's my
predator.
guy. That's my guy, Timothy. We gonna watch
Yeah.
that nigga shit.
I
We
got a
watch this shit.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got a predator. He was watching you. He even
yeah. He don't like your talking points. He don't
he
like
said,
your talking points.
Craig, I need to talk to this nigga. Set it up.
I need to talk to this nigga.
He
Hey, but I
he
feel,
got a
hey,
good
hold on,
platform
y'all
too. He got a good platform too. He got a content platform too.
y'all niggers are really sitting here and keeping
damn it,
Coach
Brody.
Broadie from saying what he got to say.
You didn't ruin the whole
You
line.
just ruined the whole.
Did you have to call us fat?
You two
Yes,
finna
I
take the
did.
whole
Yes,
show
yes,
gonna
I
be
agree with
crazy
Coach
now. The
Broadie.
whole
Y'all
show
are
gonna be
niggers.
crazy. The whole
Let's
show
see this
gonna. You
drunk
two
The
gonna
fool.
remove this
Nigers.
whole
The
show
It,
now.
it
Nigers.
This
don't the
drunk
people
fool.
for the team, for the news team. Don't worry about it. Once we end this live, we're gonna have to edit this shit. This
We
is
gonna
gonna be
edit it.
yeah.
I'm
This
not
is gonna be a
editing this. No,
pre-recorded
no,
and
it's
Bruh,
gonna be a
unedited.
vote. It's gonna
bruh,
be a vote, and I'm not
bruh,
editing
you
this.
fail. No,
Oh well, you
No,
hey,
outvoted.
Morphine,
Me
we edited it.
no.
He
and
drunk and he
Craig
being
and
stupid.
agree.
Me and him are gonna agree with it. It's gonna be 2-2. So it's gonna
Bullshit,
stay
I'm
up.
drunk too. That don't mean shit.
Nah, Craig
Okay,
on my side and Henry.
No,
okay.
he ain't on your side.
Yes,
You
Henry,
trying to
yes,
use your
Henry.
female
Okay, so
power.
this guy,
yes,
You
he's
trying
drunk.
to use your female
No,
power. We're
he
not
is, but
falling
it's
for
no,
that.
you
okay.
black
You
as
got
hell.
outvoted.
You
Look.
always ruin
Hey,
stuff.
hey,
Hey,
Hello?
Henry is on the side where he don't have to do too much work. If I have to edit, if I have to do all that, I'm on the side of keeping it.
hey, baby Craig, your timing is impeccable because I don't drink like that.
Well,
Every time I
I'm
got on
just
one of your
speaking from
shows,
a
I've been
whole.
drunk. I've
I'm
been
just
drunk
What?
talking
every
about
single time I got on one of
the
your
whole
shows.
Why do
standpoint
you
of
Negroes
YouTube.
drink on my show? All right, I'm
look,
tired of you niggers.
I'm just being. Hang
They
on.
always get
I'm
fucked up
not
on
trying to.
the
I'm not trying to
Paul is
be.
the only nigga that can't drink on our
I'm not trying to be.
show.
I'm
Paul
not
is the
trying to
only
be
nigga
funny or
that can't
nothing.
Brother
drink.
I'm not
Craig,
trying to
you
be
gonna
funny or
have to
nothing. I'm
edit
just
the
talking
show
about
because
from the
my
stand.
titty was on here. YouTube gonna flag that shit.
Hey, Keisha,
He
go ahead
said,
and
it
hey,
wasn't,
Keisha,
we
They
see
gonna
your
flag
titty.
that and they gonna
Keisha.
flag the
I
N word.
did.
Hey, Morphine, go ahead and drop them toes in my souls in my inbox. I'm trying to see what that do. You got
In
them
I
up?
gotta
the
get them
titty.
done, baby.
In the
The
No, but
titty. In the
real
titty.
talk.
remember, I'm on
If
my
the
feet
toes
for
ain't done,
over.
if the
I
toes
got
get
it
done, the
for
souls
over
will do.
8 hours. So
If
them
the
jokes are
toes ain't done, then the souls will do. Just smack some oils on some bad boys. Go ahead.
oh
Ah,
yeah.
this dude got a foot fetish. I
No,
forgot. That's
Yeah,
so
I don't want to see no
weird.
titties. I want to see some feet. Fuck that.
no,
Fuck
That,
that.
but
that, that,
What?
no,
that,
real talk
that,
though.
nah, nigga.
What
You
you
going
said is
against
real.
Coach Roder right
He
now.
out here
Flag.
sucking toes.
YouTube is
Okay.
gonna flag it
I
for
do
that,
suck
and they're
toes.
gonna flag it for the N word. Unless you want to get your channel banned on YouTube, you don't want to edit that.
If
Nah,
it
What?
ain't monetized, your shit ain't gonna get banned.
Yo,
This
and
channel
if
ain't
anybody
monetized
wants
yet.
to
I
know,
said
and
they're
if
gonna have
anybody
to
wants to
edit
know
it
if you're
because
a
it was a
dom
titty on
or
the
a
live. They
sub
thinking
no,
it
it's
was
not.
or a
No,
explicit.
it's
sub
not.
or a
Y'all making
bottom,
Watch
it.
this shit
Y'all
be
making
flagged.
the
They're gonna be
issue.
like,
drop the link in the
inappropriate
chat.
content.
Y'all making it the issue. It ain't gonna get
We
bad.
definitely
Yeah, if
have to
Yeah.
edit
anybody
this
wants to know if you're
banter.
a dom, sub, top or bottom, I dropped the link in the chat.
And
Take
that's
the
exactly
Okay,
test.
okay.
best
I'm
thing.
finna
Drop
kick.
that
I'm
link.
finna kick everybody
Don't
out of
forget,
here.
Keisha.
Yeah,
Don't forget.
Take the
Drop,
test.
wrinkle them souls up and drop them
Peace,
in
all
my
right.
inbox.
love,
I'm trying
and
to see what them
I'm
souls
finna,
look
I'm
like.
finna
Yeah,
kick.
I got an
I'm
in my
finna kick
mind.
everybody. I'm finna kick it. No, I'm finna kick everybody out because I got to end.
No
we're
I got to
doubt.
end
done.
this. But you can. No, you ain't ending it.
No
Oh, you
doubt.
want to end
Peace.
it?
All
All
right.
right.
But what I'm finna say, I gotta go wrap it up because everybody will interfere,
Okay.
right?
The drunk
We
Morphin,
gonna
I'll see you
have
later.
Timothy's. We gonna have Timothy's versus JP, right?
Oh, why'd you have to say it? You a goofy.
No, we gonna have Timothy versus
Ah, you a goofy. I didn't
JP
know you
on
knew
versus
any.
two. Cause I don't want Timothy to be surprised. You
I
try to
wanted him to be
sabotage him.
Well,
surprised.
Craig,
You try to sabotage him, and
I ain't trying to sabotage him.
you
He
try
just
to
being a goofy.
sabotage. Yeah, but either way, we gonna
Hey,
also thank you, Morphe. You should be doing these shows late night, and you should be doing it early morning when you get off in your group, right? I'm fit to say that. And also, Henry, thank you
I don't like
for
it when you
giving
be
us the
bossing me
platform.
around. Don't be bossing me around. Y'all always have me working. Y'all give me no eats no sleeps, no nothing.
Nah, you can't eat, you sleep, beans, and drink water. Oh,
You don't sleep till you dead.
They
You don't
over here working me like a
look.
slave. They over here working me like a slave. I don't got shit to
When
do.
you look, when you get four
I've been
jobs like me,
I've been trained.
you don't sleep till you dead.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah, yeah. So we got that going, right?
And,
This is the news say,
and
and
not only that,
hey,
speaking
coach,
of
now hold on, bro, cut it out. Damn, you been doing a lot of talking, Coach Broadie. Congratulate you for your fucking flawless win. This was a flawless win.
what a
Absolutely.
ratchet
Yeah,
congratulations.
Congratulations. Let's get it.
yeah, yeah.
Congratulations, Brody.
Don't worry, Jaden coming back. I'm gonna
Jalen
make sure
said
that
Jalen said you're a joke and you're not an entertainer, and he doesn't see why people even entertain or
it
pay you.
doesn't matter. He ran. But I'm gonna get Jalen on the new program, and
He's
his
a
program gonna be
rising
better.
star,
His
living
program gonna be
always
better.
when it gets hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta make sure next time he fat bitch free.
Yeah, he fat
Oh,
bitch free. He let the fat bitch get his ear.
oh shit.
She
Listen,
she
hey,
she
King,
right
That
of
bitch
here.
free.
Yeah,
you know,
she
you
Yo.
know
right of here
how you
on
know
this
Jalen
line.
lost is because
Oh fuck.
me and Denise be at each other's necks 90% of the time. So she take my side, nigga. You lost.
Yeah, that was
Hey,
ugly. I think that was she was trying to do that so he could do it. It worked. That's how he got into it with women. He don't know
Shout
women like
out,
that. Anyway,
shout out to the nemesis Denise for setting up her friend of me. You know what I mean? He gave us good content.
yeah.
yeah.
This would be a setup for him, wouldn't it?
It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
a setup. But
Yeah, he
thank
got set up by
you.
Denise, not by us. We wasn't setting him up.
Yeah, yeah,
Cause
that is.
I thought he was gonna get the chairman. I ain't gonna lie.
No,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't. I didn't think he was going to get the chairman. I know my chairman was going to win. I
I,
had faith in my
I was
chairman
55%
to
on
show
his
up
side
and to
in
show out
45.
every time, anytime that the God called him, because God talked to him and told him to come show the fuck up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
so the chairman only see me. I was down you. I apologize, brother.
I
But
don't
that don't mean it's over with. No, that
Can
don't
I
I
mean
don't
it's
can
take
over
I
with.
tell
I
y'all
do not take
something?
that stuff personal, but all I will say is this: I've been drinking since the early afternoon. That's why I was asleep before I got on the call. I did not prepare for this nigga. I just knew his arguments was weak, so I just.
Damn.
I think
I
I
don't believe you, brother. I don't
see.
believe
I think
you.
the best mind is anime watchers. If you don't watch anime, you don't know.
Hey,
Yeah, I
hey,
don't watch no anime. I beat
and,
the brakes
and
off,
shout out to him.
Brody.
You been, hey
Yeah.
Henry, you been in the Brokage group chat, man. I appreciate you because you've been bringing some more traction to the Brokage group chat with your posts in there. You've been making some good posts, man. I did know you was an anime dude, bro. We got to chop it up sometime and talk this anime shit because I got some content I need to make, man.
We're
Like,
gonna have an anime show. We're gonna have all the anime
Yes.
people on
hey,
here one
my
day.
own
Yeah.
podcast. My own podcast is called Anime and Chill. Right, that's my own podcast. It's pretty much about BDSM and blurred culture. That's what my podcast is about.
Yeah, we're gonna put Lakeisha on that bitch.
Yeah, I
She gonna
want.
learn.
Yeah.
She gonna learn about some cartoons. Fuck it.
I'm more into the
Hey,
Naruto.
go to a Comic
I
Con, call anime cartoons, and watch how quick you get stumped out by a nigga with a perm.
You know, with the perm.
But yo. Seriously, I was really upset that we really gotta edit that bitch out because the nigga said the D word. I said you
hold
cannot
on,
come
wait.
on
I
here
don't know if
and
y'all
say the D
heard me.
word.
I don't know if y'all heard me because I was getting off of Wi-Fi, but I don't watch anime. I only watch it because my team watch it and my kids watch it. That's it.
You're
But
That's
gonna
it.
watch it.
you
You're
watch
gonna watch it.
sci-fi,
That mean you
you watch
watch it.
sci-fi and fantasy movies though. Like
But
you an
yo, but
anime
yo, but
right?
Yeah,
yo, but hold on.
you know I'm big on sci-fi, bro. You know I'm
Yeah,
big on
yeah.
sci-fi.
If you
Yeah,
with sci-fi, then you can still be considered a blurred. When I say blurred,
A
I just
blur. A
yeah,
blur. What the hell
But
is a
hold on, but hold
blur?
on, but Brody, we can't give all your bullets away. We know you want to go, but we can't give it all
I
away.
got thousands of bullets,
I
man.
I, I know,
he
No,
but
said,
no,
but
we
I
not
got.
doing that.
He said, Brody said, ain't no giving it away because I got it in abundance.
Yeah,
No,
Never
no,
mind.
that,
I'm
but
that
sorry.
check,
ain't
but
good.
check
That
this
ain't
out.
good. That ain't good. That ain't
But check
good.
this
I'll
out.
be.
But here's
He
the
said
thing.
I come in legions. Damn it.
Here the thing, Brody. But see, that's the thing. We gotta have you in seasons. You made your debut as the one and only undisputed chairman. All right. Now
I just really
we
traveling
got a
all
show.
shit.
We next show. We're gonna have you in teacher mode featuring King Zay, and we're gonna bring out them charts. But yo,
And we gonna
you
have
gotta.
Mika come on there.
Yeah, I'm a
We
little
gonna have the
upset.
sisters
King
on
Zay,
there. We
I'm a
gonna have
little
the sisters on there. Take your shit apart. The
yeah,
sisters
I'm
gonna
I'm a
take
That's
little
your
what
shit
Ratchet
upset
want to
apart.
that
do.
King
Fuck
Zay
that.
didn't get a
Yeah.
chance to really break
We're not
down
gonna do it
the
like
second
that.
poetic
That's
quadrant.
we are fit to do it like that.
Yeah,
Fuck
I'm a
that.
little
Okay, yeah,
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna
say
cuss
this.
each
I'm a
other
little
out for two
upset.
hours after this show.
I'm gonna say this. I'm a little upset King Zay didn't get a chance to break down a sexual poetic quadrant, but I'm gonna say this. You know, Denise, she fucks with a sexual poetic quadrant. So we got
Bro,
King.
why are we saying the D word?
Yeah, we don't say the D word,
We
bro.
don't say that word around here.
Yeah,
Hey,
they get a
we really
flag
gotta
over here.
edit this
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, we gotta edit
Cause
it.
I
That's
did
the
And
not
D
want to
listen,
word
hear
listen.
that up
and
on this
Even
switching
show.
it.
even if Denise don't
I don't
fuck
want
with
to hear
me, she
that.
still fuck with my quadrant. Even if she don't fuck with me, she still fuck with my quadrant. So Denise could be on here for that shit.
Oh, bro,
You said
no,
it
no,
again.
no, no. You
You
said
said
it
it
again.
again.
You said it
Hey,
again
listen,
because she
okay.
gonna say all the
We
way
got
that we got views is because she was on it. Like
Hey,
we
hey,
ain't
hey!
going through that
Shout out
bullshit,
to
man.
Denise. You know, shout out to Denise
Shout
because
out to the big bitches.
yeah,
Hey, what
yeah.
is
Shout
a
out
Shout
to the
out to the
big
bro?
Buffalo
bitches.
Soldiers.
Shout out to the
Yeah,
big bitches.
Yeah, shout out to
yeah.
the Buffalo Soldiers.
YouTube,
Boy, yo,
YouTube,
yo, boy,
into
yo, yo,
Makisha.
yo,
Shout out to the big
boy, yo,
buffalo
yo,
bitches.
yo.
We
Oh my god.
yeah. He's a apologetic. Coach Broadie, he feeling all tender dick because she was going against
Y'all niggas fucking. You
Jaylee.
know what she's gonna
Yeah,
do? She's gonna
she was
time this.
tender dick.
No,
He
no,
a
no.
tender
I can
dick
hear it
ass
right
nigga.
now. I can hear it
Who
See,
right now.
Jaylee,
Hey, get the young nigga to
I'm gonna
stop
take your
it.
charm. I'm gonna take your charm card for you right now because you went tender dick on us, bro.
no, you can't take
You
it on
went
me. Denise
Paul
gonna
on
suck my
you
dick.
went Paul on us, bro. You went
Listen,
Paul
all I
on us,
know
bro.
is
He didn't
that
turn
I don't
traitor,
know where
bro.
her head is
You
hidden.
know,
When I
he
listened to the
damn
Neo
near. He
song,
close. I smell it.
Neo song said the hand wasn't that good, so I can't speak on that. You know what I mean? But all I know is that Denise in the BDSM chat is pretty cool people. She's just not cool in the other ones. That's all I know. You know, I gotta be very
Yeah. When it kind of acting like she want to suck the shit out your dick, it really ain't gonna do that because she trying to steal the money out your pocket, nigga. Okay, anyway,
dick
nigga.
ain't free. Ain't nobody get no money out of me.
Yeah.
Dick
You
ain't
gonna
free.
steal the money out your pocket? Denise,
Listen,
do your ass,
listen,
nigga.
listen to me very closely, Ratchet Craig. All I got is dick and bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
Nah, nigga, she gonna take your wallet, nigga. She gonna steal your license, nigga. You have to go down to
Hey
DMV
yo.
and get new license, nigga. Get the cut it out.
You
Hey
tweak.
yo, y'all. I think I'm off today. I don't
You
think
are
I'm
off
supposed to.
today, genius.
I don't think I'm supposed to be at work, bro.
You
You
are off
told us that.
today.
You told us you was off today.
Yo, I looked on the schedule. I must have seen this shit wrong. Hold on, wait. Let me go check.
You are off
Now you
today.
told us that like 5, 6 days ago.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What?
yeah,
Was it
Yeah,
Friday?
I thought it was Friday. I didn't think it was the day.
Yeah, you off today.
Oh, I am off today. Today is Friday because it's 12 o'clock. Oh my God. Never mind,
yeah.
y'all.
You fucked up.
You owe us an apology and thanks to Reggie Craig. He's the smartest guy ever in his
And the
lifetime, bro.
drunkest guy ever.
Hey, I know I've been drinking and shit like that, but Keisha, I slid in them DMs, so you ain't gonna act like I ain't did this shit like this ain't public information. Yeah, bitch, you gonna put them feet in my inbox.
Whoa.
On
Whoa.
that note, we got to end it. We got to end it.
On that
Hey,
note, we
peace
gotta
out.
end it.
Yeah,
We gotta
peace out
end
on that. Now we end none of this. And thank you.